What's up, guys?
What's going on?
Oh, Tack, you're muted.
Fuck it. I am muted. I muted myself. I removed Dalton.
Lovely start.
Thank you. It's fantastic. We're
Second
starting
episode.
off great. This is why we need our producer here, but she went downstairs to go like do something, and it's ridiculous. It is truly ridiculous. It is so unprofessional.
You can't find good help these days.
No, you cannot find good help these days. No, I think she's here because unless are you doing that banner?
I'm not doing that banner. So
okay, so Shell is here. Okay, so Shell is back. Okay, sorry, Shell. We love you.
Do nothing at all.
She's sitting right here.
Sitting right here. Yep.
I thought you were just leaving us. So did Dalton. Okay, but anyway, what's up, everybody? We are on day 3. Well, okay, stream 2, day 3 of the RNC. Right? That's math. Anyway, welcome to Insanity Developing, where we develop insanity as the podcast goes along because booze tends to do that to a guy. And with us today, we have a wonderful guest. I'm actually going to skip you, Dalton, and I'm going to go directly to our guest really quick, just so then he can introduce himself. So, Grim, who the hell are you? What do you do? And also, what size pants do you wear?
So I'm Grim. I host the channel Grim Tactical Solutions on YouTube. I own a firearms training company up here in Western Pennsylvania. I also host the Everyday Guardian show on YouTube. And just normal dude, nothing special, but got some insights for some things. So if you guys have questions, let me know. As far as size pants I wear, don't worry about it. Ask Tax Mom.
Okay, so he has fully admitted that he has sex with a communist.
Unfortunately.
Oh God.
He's doubling down.
They've got diseases.
Yeah, I'm calling Biden. I'm doubling down.
Oh well, we have a lot to say about Biden this evening, and then of course we have Dalton. Dalton, who are you? What do you do? And what are your pant size?
I'm Dalton. I am a web developer, and I guess now a podcast host apparently with these guys. And so it's basically what I do. I do that, and I do some music as well. I do music in a band called Low Liminal. It's more like a studio project, but it's like Halloween music. We do it once a year. It's fun. A buddy of mine and I get together and we do it. But yeah, so that's basically me. And so and my pant size, I don't know at the moment.
Do you not?
I don't know at the top of my head.
Well, geez.
I have a couple of pair of, jeans and stuff that I, use.
Leave the man alone. He hasn't had to buy new pants in a while. Okay?
I am just disappointed, but still. And everybody, as always, my name is Tactical Turtleneck, or Sir Schlongs a lot. You could call me whatever the fuck, really. But anyway, I am a weird, crazy dude who makes weird videos about cryptids and Dungeons and Dragons and Ernie Gonzalez eating corn with his butthole.
Yep.
And if you like that kind of stuff, awesome. Make sure that you subscribe to all of us. All of the X handles and stuff are going to be everywhere, and Shell will put them on the thingy on the bottom. But we're going to get into it. We have a lot to cover tonight because it is day 3 of the RNC, and we have JD Vance speaking. We're going to be going over the Vivek speech, correct?
Yep, from last night. Yep.
And then we're also going to be talking about Joe Biden and his weird little announcement and super coincidental sickness.
Dun, dun, dun. I'm going to need to do a sound clip. All right. So first, business. Straight to the business. All right. So just wanted to let you guys know we are officially a podcast that is actually on all the podcasts, sites and everything. So we are on Apple Podcasts, we are on Spotify, we're of course on here on YouTube that you can watch and listen to. So if you guys want, we have a website. It's called insanitydeveloping.com. We just launched this, and so we are getting there. So,
I love that picture of Dimmy, by the way. It's a great picture.
Right? It's just he's like serious, but he's also not serious at the same time.
Now we did have corrections though. I just wanted to.
I'm just about to get to that. You're skipping ahead.
I'm sorry.
Okay, this is episode 2. We're still gonna be a little sloppy, but we're getting better. We're getting better. Okay, we've got ideas and things. All right, so corrections. So last episode, which we did on Monday, we did Monday, and it is now Wednesday, July 17th. If you're listening to this in the future, because we are now in the past. So some corrections from the first episode if you guys were tuning in. So we reported that Elon Musk was going to be donating $45 million a month to a Trump super PAC. Elon came out using a tweet. It was actually a meme. It was really funny, basically calling that fake news. So in classic Elon, he shut that shit down. So pretty funny, but kind of sad at the same time.
Now, this doesn't mean that he's not donating money necessarily.
At the moment, I believe it's still currently undisclosed the amount of money that he has donated.
Yes.
Or is pledging to donate or whatever. It's just, I think that report is confirmed false by Elon himself. So just wanted to correct that one real quick. And then another correction that we wanted to do was the VP debate. It is not locked in. According to the Trump campaign today, they posted a kind of a funny troll. Let me share my screen real quick. I'll read it off to you guys. They basically said that, quote, "We don't know who the Democrat nominee for vice president is going to be, so we can't lock in a date before their convention. To do so would be unfair to Gavin Newsom, JB Pritzker. Yeah, I don't know that I know that. And then Gretchen Whitmer or whoever Kamala Harris picks as her running mate," end quote. Brian Hughes.
God, you're really bad with names. I didn't know you were that bad.
I read them in my head silently where nobody can hear them, just except for me. So I only have myself to make fun of, nobody else. But now I'm on a podcast apparently, and so I'm gonna have to work on that. And then so he's a Trump campaign senior advisor. So that was kind of funny. So just wanted to make those quick corrections from last episode.
And I would like to add one more correction that Dalton is not aware of, or at least did not mention. He might be aware of it. In the previous podcast, we were reporting based on an article where the pathetic, disgraceful, just absolute filth that is now dead and burning in hell, the shooter who attempted to take out Trump, says that he has a 10-inch penis. We have found out since that the shooter was mentally inept completely, and he meant millimeter. Just want to put that out there. Anyway,
so you're telling me that it was always lost, never to be able to found when needed.
Yeah, pretty much. He was as smooth as a Ken doll down there.
Yeah, the 10 mil is always the first one to go.
Yeah. All right, so Dalton, you have a schedule for tonight, don't you?
I've got some notes. Me attempting to be a little bit more prepared this time than our last episode. I wrote some notes. And so I guess some topics that we're going to plan on covering is Trump's would-be assassin update. And so there's a lot of news coming out today and yesterday regarding that guy. And then we also got Joe Biden said that he would consider dropping out of the presidential race if a doctor told him he had a medical condition that might interfere with his ability to run and govern. The funny thing is, 3 hours after that news dropped, they announced he had
COVID
in 2024. And mind you, he's like vaxxed all the updated vax and all the updated boosters and all that. So it's like weird, dude. And so it's like,
you're trying to tell me that he got the vaccines and they don't work?
I'm not saying that. You're saying that.
Yeah, I mean,
I was asking. I wasn't saying nothing at all.
I mean, the FDA is also like saying it now.
Yep. So is this going to be the thing that they're going to use to get Biden to drop out? Or is he going to be like, nope, this is too much for me? I mean, Trump just took a bullet for this country and Biden can't handle COVID for it. So
he can't handle stairs.
He can't handle stairs, can't handle COVID. He can't handle, he can't handle going through a speech without a teleprompter. He can't
look at the camera during a pre-recorded address.
It begs the question, can he use the bathroom by himself?
Hey guys, so we're going to be talking about... He's so awful. I'm sorry, Grim.
Me? What are we doing?
No, because Biden looked off to the left of the camera when he was giving that address. He didn't look at the camera talking to anybody.
That's true.
By the way,
the Oval Office address.
I want everybody to understand this. The way that teleprompters work is there is a camera inside of a screen, so you look directly at it. The problem with that is that the teleprompter size is typically limited to about this big. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing what happened is he might have trouble reading at his age, so maybe they got him a big teleprompter over to the left and then put the camera there so then it would be big letters.
I think it's actually a combination of exactly what you just said, and also he looks probably very awkward trying to read off a teleprompter, looking directly into the camera, lying to everybody. So there's probably that too.
There's two things can be true at once.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, one of the biggest catch tells of somebody lying is them not looking directly at you when they're talking, darting their eyes, moving around. That's a psychological thing.
That is true.
Oh, there we go. Yep. So
that is true.
Was that on purpose or was that a tactic? Who knows? Yes, and then we also
Joe
Joe
Biden's about as tactical as a tactical soccer.
Somebody give me art of Joe Biden in tactic gear. I need it. I need him with nods.
Oh God! All right, and then I think Tack did mention that we were going to go over Vivek's RNC speech from last night, which was killer, and then we also have. Don't
Nikki give it all away, Dalton.
Well, we're not. I'm just going through the quick notes real quick, and then we also have a little bit of Nikki Haley. We're not going to touch much on that because she's insufferable. And then so Adam Schiff came out today and basically said that Biden should drop out, and then also Chuck Schumer. Within the last hour, the news dropped that he also said he told Biden that he should drop out
for the good of the country, I believe, right?
More or less, yeah. But I mean, it's like, man, it's weird to agree with Democrats all of a sudden. But at the same time, I don't agree with them because it's like I endorse Joe Biden as the Democrat nominee.
As do I.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. Well, see, for anybody who doesn't know, Chuck Schumer is the Senate Majority Leader, correct?
Chuck Schumer is the Senate Majority Leader. Yes.
So I just want you to understand this. This is no majority, and this is somebody in a leadership position in the Democrat camp heavily. Remember, this is the guy that said that he was really cool and all about grilling while simultaneously having the grill off and raw meat and serving it to people for a photo op. But I want you to understand this is a guy who is in Democrat leadership asking or saying that Joe Biden should back out. So we're getting more and more people added to that list saying that it's not a good move for him to stay in.
Yep.
Now
crazy times.
Oh no, absolutely crazy times. But really quick, I do want to talk about the sloped roof thing.
Yeah, let's get into the updates that we have seen en masse throughout the last 48 hours because they're pretty nuts. I've got a couple of tweets that I could probably pop up.
I'm interested.
So yeah, if you want to start talking about that, I got a little visual right here for everybody watching.
So the head of the Secret Service now, that is that lady, right? The like DEI hire. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Miss PepsiCo.
Miss PepsiCo. Said that they had to look at it from a safety perspective as to why they couldn't put someone on the roof of that building.
They're talking about the roof on the right.
The roof on the right, which is the one that the shooter climbed up. And as you could see, it is obviously extraordinarily sloped. So sloped, in fact, that the FBI was able to stand on it while pressure washing away all of the evidence.
Oh yeah, I don't have that image up, but yeah, there was that too. And it's just funny because there is a side-by-side image that we're showing everybody on the live, and the actual building roof thing that the actual snipers
slope
are on. Yeah, the slope, the degrees of that is so much more, apparent, drastic, thank you, than the actual one that they were complaining about safety wise. So it's like, this is a bunch of bull crap.
Yes, but I will say that the Secret Service did make an announcement that they take 100% responsibility for all of the stuff that happened, and they don't.
It's funny.
But still,
well, it's funny because it's like they feed us bullcrap number 1, they feed us bullcrap number 2, they feed us, all these, little lines about, oh well, this is why that decision, and it's like basically we all debunked it in real time.
Yeah.
And now they're like, okay, no, you know what? We take full responsibility now, or at least she's saying that, which, I mean, it doesn't look good for her. I think she's probably going to end up losing her job, and rightly so.
Yes. By the way, her name is Kimberly Cheadle. Yeah. And she says she admits that the Secret Service was solely responsible for the design, implementation, and execution of the site of the former president's rally in Pennsylvania. So it was that they were blaming state police, and then state police are blaming dispatch or local police.
Yeah.
And now they're saying, well, it was our plan. So yeah, I guess you're right. But reasons. Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's low proof thing ridiculous.
It is, isn't it?
Stop trying to Brandon Herrera me, you bastards. Sorry.
Oh no. The chat.
Are you talking about the fact that everybody's calling you a Marine,
fucking a SEAL, all this stuff? I did not serve. Once again, for all of our audio viewers, or audio listeners, that's the word. I did not serve. Okay, I did not. Okay, Grim did. I did not. Stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So make sure you thank him for his service later.
God, fuck you.
So for anybody who doesn't understand, the context of that is Ernie Gonzalez was saying that Brandon Herrera didn't serve, and Brandon Herrera has never claimed that he did. And so the chat
all
is
of his
basically
friends.
just, yep. Yeah. I mean, all of his friends are veterans and, good buddies.
Honorary veterans. They call her, they made him an honorary veteran, and they started the joke.
Yeah, the Pepper Box actually has an honorary veteran medal now, specifically for that.
So now everybody's attacking TAC. So now everybody's attacking TAC and basically calling him more or less an honorary veteran.
Bastards.
Not even. But yeah.
Apparently, your request for the tactical Biden is in your DMs. Check it out.
Oh, fucking fantastic. Thank you. Holy shit, we actually have them. From 0, okay, so 0 plus 7 equals potato, which is the name I gave them. We've got both Biden and Trump, so we could actually just really quick do something.
Okay, no, before you pull it up, then we're gonna do a who wore it better.
That's exactly what we're gonna do. That's exactly what we're
gonna do. I have
no
idea what's going on. This is something that they've decided behind the scenes. Who wore it better? No, I mean I get that. I just don't know exactly what you guys are about to do. So
Biden wearing tactical gear.
Tactical.
Biden.
Yeah, we've got Biden and Trump
you guys
wearing
already pulled that off?
Gear.
Apparently,
that was people fast. In chat be quick.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to really quick share my screen. Thank you, by the way, for the heads up. So we're gonna go entire screen. We're gonna just go here, and I want everybody to tell me who wore it better.
Beautiful.
Now, what I will say is Biden is at least, I think, in more tactical gear, right?
Biden looks more like that the special operator.
Yeah.
Thing. Trump looks more like
CIA.
John Wick after they shot his second dog.
Okay, that's actually fair. That's fair.
All right. I'm going to tell you guys
automatically. John Wick.
I'm going to tell you guys automatically Trump wins this one.
And is it because of the dinosaur?
It is because of simply the dinosaur. I mean, look at Joe Biden. He's got no threats, coming his way. Donald Trump is a man who's faced nearly every threat possible except for a dinosaur. So throwing a dinosaur in there, that's on par.
Well, to be fair, also, Biden is pictured there with what does look like military hardware for the United States military that he left in Afghanistan. Meanwhile, Trump, no military gear whatsoever, but he does look unafraid of that dinosaur.
He's got a pistol.
He
in
looks
his hand.
totally unafraid, cool, calm, and collected. And Biden, if you notice in Biden's picture too, while he's equipped with a military grade weapon, He still appears to be very afraid to touch it.
Yeah, actually, that's very true.
Yeah, you notice that his hand, it is the top portion of his hand that is actually against the rifle.
He's not even touching the thing. And where's this? I mean, he's got I guess he's got the quick sling on there on his left. Is Biden a lefty?
I don't know. Is Biden? I'm a lefty originally.
I know Obama was. Biden, I don't think is.
I don't know.
He got it flung to his left side. So unless he's doing the cross chest sling.
Okay. But listen, hear me out. It's Biden. He has no idea what he's doing.
No, that's true.
This is kind of on par for him too.
Actually, please take a look at the optic.
Uh-oh.
Where is the optic located?
Yeah.
What is right here? What is right here?
It's a very interesting position.
Do they got that thing stuck to the what?
Yeah.
AI. You gotta love AI.
You gotta love AI.
AI believes that the charging handle of a rifle is a great place to mount an optic.
Not only is the optic mounted right there, it replaced the charging handle.
Charging handle optic.
I refuse to blame AI for this. It's Biden's fault. He has no idea what he's doing.
Also,
it's Biden AI.
I also would like to point out from chat, Soul Gazelle, you are 100% correct. Trump does have a flintlock. He is classic. He is classic, all right? This is straight up what our founders would have been like, yeah, that's badass. This man fought a dinosaur with a flintlock.
Trump's like, yeah, I only need one shot.
Yeah, one shot, one opportunity.
Maybe. Yep.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Biden's over here looking like he's wearing mom's spaghetti.
Yeah, well, yeah, Jesus. Biden doesn't even know what spaghetti is. Anyway, just wanted to make sure. So I'm going to say that it was Trump in that situation. Now, we do have quite a few more images. If you guys could please upload just directly to the Discord so everybody can see. And I just want to see in chat what everybody thinks. Who wore it better? So just let us know in the chat. But I think that that's actually pretty fucking funny that we got that so quickly.
That is. All right, I'm going to share my screen real quick because I've got another thing for you guys.
While you're doing that, Kat said that rifle was the one that the Navy officer was holding.
That's what I was thinking. That's actually what I was thinking.
I was about to say that too. Because, that 100% got it backwards and everything.
Yeah.
All right. So other news about the shooter that has come out is so apparently he was able to get past security with a rangefinder.
Yeah, he was walking around with it, correct?
Yeah. Yep. And I'm about to play a video for everyone who's watching of some creepy moments. It's more of an eerie moment it's about 30-40 minutes before the actual shooting took place, but it does appear that he is looking around. So that's
yeah,
weird.
you just see him right there in the background.
He's looking for a spot. It looks like
hard, and it's just everything else.
It is.
He's not just looking for a spot. I think he was also checking to see if security was even aware that he was going to go up there.
Yeah, that he was doing his own probing.
Yeah.
Now I do want to point out, it looks like he is behind the actual fence of the perimeter, so it doesn't look like he's inside of the perimeter of where the event was actually taking place, because I believe there was that fence that's separating them. And unless I'm looking at this wrong, I mean, that kind of does look like a fence. I could be wrong, though.
I think you're right. Grim, you're there, right? Yeah.
Say that again. It is.
It's outside the inner perimeter, but he's definitely within the outer perimeter already. If they would have set things up properly, then he would be past the first and second, possibly third line of monitoring up till the inner line.
But also, seeing this and just seeing, we all know the relative size of a human. This gives a really good idea of how far away that building kind of was, and really how it wasn't so far out that they were like, oh, well, we didn't think of that. No, it was well within something that should have been watched, secured. They had snipers inside of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I do want to just bring up the fact that they have the it looks like the Jumbotron or whatever it is right there, because you can kind of see some video playing. Is that what that was, Grim?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean,
that
for
to
anybody who doesn't know, Grim was actually there. I don't know if we said that just now or not.
I have not mentioned that in this one yet. Not at all.
We did a live stream a couple days ago on Tax Channel about this when everything was just happening. So
the day of
this was happening. So having you on this podcast to kind of recount, what you saw from your perspective there.
Yeah. So I can tell you based off of the angle from where this individual's sitting, those flags and that Jumbotron, he was under the building that he would eventually be on top of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, just to let you know, I do have the RNC pulled up on my other monitor. Just
perfect. I was about to bring that up. So we will be monitoring that.
I believe right now it's Marjorie Taylor Greene, right? That is speaking. That's the blonde, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the Real Housewives of Congress.
Yes. Yes. Still would. So just want to let everybody know we are keeping an eye on it. What we care about tonight, obviously, is JD Vance's speech, because we want to know kind of where the VP stands on his issues, what his belief is, not only about Trump, but the vision for America. Even though we might have found out some stuff that is a little, it's concerning. At least to me, it's concerning.
Yeah, it is a little weird. All right. Next story that I'm going to pull up about the shooter is, that's the wrong tab. Hold on.
We just saw that one, Dalton.
I know. Hey,
I'm proud of you, Dalton. I'm proud of you. No, I'm proud of you. You're doing really good.
All right. So the next story was that I guess we got a little bit more, it seems like, details about the two police officers that phoned into a blanket tactical channel to alert that an armed individual was on the roof moments before Trump was shot. And so it looks like, from my understanding of this video, it breaks down that when they were looking for the shooter, before the shooting started, it looks like one guy propped up one police officer propped up another police officer they went to the lowest point of where the roof and the ground were, and they basically just propped one officer on top of the roof. And when he did that, the gunman turned around with his gun, pointed the rifle at him, and that's when the officer, he was both hands on the roof, and so he couldn't get to his service weapon, he couldn't get to a radio, and he ended up falling and retreating. And so I believe he injured or sprained his ankle. And so, but during that, they were also trying to radio into everybody that this was going on, and shortly after that, that's when the shooting took place.
Okay, so if that's the case, then that breaks down what they were talking about before, why an officer would retreat whenever they give up. One of the things you're not supposed to do is give up ground. But that being said, if he was only being propped up by a fellow officer trying to grasp for a building, that's not giving up ground. That is regaining cover and concealment whenever you have a weapon pointed at you. And then
and plus, I mean, you're using both your hands. You're using both your hands. You can't reach. You can't do anything. I mean, so you're vulnerable.
Exactly. Yeah, he had to have fallen down in order to make the radio call. There was no way he was doing it on the roof.
Right.
He wasn't actually on the roof yet.
Yep. And so I think that with this context in mind, I think that whole piece of the puzzle, that makes sense. So I wanted to share that real quick. And then did you guys see I guess they found a remote detonator? Did you guys see that?
I did see that they found a remote detonator that was hooked up to his car.
Yeah. So his car was confirmed to have explosives in it.
Yes.
Yep.
Didn't they find multiple actually? Also in the home, right?
They found bomb-making materials in his home.
Okay, that's it.
There we go. And so this is it looks like this is the remote detonator or trigger or whatever that they found near his person. It looks like a garage door opener.
I was actually look like a scene out of some video game of the Middle East remote detonator.
I was thinking more like it looks like one of the air conditioner remotes, like for if you have a portable unit,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could be all you need is an RFID, remote. Yep. Like that's the thing about
apparently, Yeah, apparently it came with this kit that somebody tracked down. So, and I mean, maybe this was used for like, fireworks or something for, remotely launching fireworks. I mean, my understanding is the event was announced 10 days prior. So on July 3rd. So if he acquired this, kit or whatever around that time, it may have been gone under the radar because people may have been purchasing that stuff for fireworks. And so for 4th of July, exactly.
That's fair.
It's also entirely possible that he didn't purchase it on the internet anywhere at all, or he had to.
Yeah.
Many people up here do fireworks. So, and he could have grabbed it, stole it out of somebody's car, stole it out of the garage. We could speculate all day. There's plenty of access to that stuff.
Could have been a garage sale for fuck all we know,
Exactly.
Right. I'm gonna play this video. I did find this. This came out today. It looks like his classmate had a couple of words. It's about a minute long. I'm gonna play it real quick.
I brought up the fact that I'm Hispanic and I'm
turn the volume up a little bit.
And he said, "Well, you're
that's
Hispanic,
as far as I can go.
So shouldn't you hate Trump?" And I was like, "No, he's great. I mean, like he's a great president." And he's he called me stupid or insinuated that I was stupid. He's like, "Well, that's kind of stupid." If he was a know-it-all. So like once again, if he was passionate about something, he would just talk and acted like he knew everything, especially politics related. And he would say it in a tone that was like, "I'm better than you," in a type of way. And meanwhile, it's like, dude, we're in the same classes. You know what I mean? We're talking about the same stuff here. And whenever it comes to politics, I mean, at the end of the day, I can agree, you can agree, you can disagree, I can disagree. Probably know nothing about it. Like, at that point, it doesn't matter. At that point, it's, we're just starting to figure out who we like and all. But, yeah, he was real smug and arrogant whenever he was talking. And whether that was his way to try to make friends or be funny, I don't know. But it got under my skin a lot.
So that was his classmate basically kind of giving us some more insight on, I guess, some of his, thinking, the way he acted, his demeanor towards things. So,
well, we've also gotten statements from other media outlets who have talked to other classmates saying he was a bit of a loner, he was teased. Some that said he wasn't overtly political, some that said that he was.
Probably depended on which groups interacted with him more on a given day during a certain time of whether the political season was in full force or who knows. But I do find it strange. Well, not strange. I mean, people say that he was a loner, and then this guy is saying that he kind of it struck him as he was kind of like a know-it-all and everything. So maybe that was like a coping mechanism that he was trying to. I don't know, trying to be more impressive towards, things that he knew. I don't know.
Well, also, I mean, it could have been that. Here's the thing. There's a difference between being a loner because you are ousted, like generally by like, your classmates or friend groups or whatever. And then there's somebody who is insufferable. So they've been ousted, right? They've not removed themselves, but they've been removed because nobody wants to deal with an asshole like that.
Right. Fair.
So now it's so it's coming down to the discussion of whether or not he was the asshole or whether or not he was like bullied and just like, a loner kind of from the get-go.
Right.
Which is all speculative. So I'm not even going to really get too much into it, but we're just giving you guys all the details that we come across as we come across them. You should see Dalton and I's DMs.
Yeah. Oh my God. All day today, just back and forth. Like, oh, this article, this tweet, that article.
Very different from me and Grimm's DMs.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about your DMs from other people. No, your interpersonal DMs, I'm not bringing that one up.
No, we can't. No. YouTube wouldn't like
it.
Right.
No, not at
So
all.
the next thing that I'm going to share is I'm gonna have to find a better way to do this because
you should see my DMs on TikTok where the live thing happened.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Yeah. So I guess the other thing that came out of this today was the House Oversight Committee subpoenas Secret Service Director for first hearing on the assassination attempt. So Yep. So that looks to take place July 22nd. It's a public hearing, and so
5 days.
now. Yeah. Now I may have this came out and I may have missed it, but it may have also been because I heard something about the Mayorkas blocking the director for doing something. So I wonder if it's this. I didn't follow up on that, unfortunately.
Okay.
I didn't have a lot of time. So maybe that's what's going on. I did hear that. I don't know if it's this related. I'm not sure.
What I will say is this is technically standard because when something goes wrong, they're brought before the oversight committee.
Yeah.
It would actually be far more out of the norm had they not been. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the whole entire idea behind it is we elect representatives to represent us. They go to Congress and then they get to do these things where we have questions. You got to answer for them. There's got to be some accountability. So hopefully that's what comes out of this. Whether or not that does, very often it seems nowadays that it likely doesn't. We often have more questions than answers at any given time regarding anything about our government. So,
just really quick in chat, I'm seeing Salvatore Lopez saying that Mayorkas blocked her. So if you guys have any sources about that, just let us know because
thank you.
Mayorkas also needs to be completely gone.
Yeah.
Long ago.
Well, he was
censorship in the chat's getting
people are we don't control YouTube's censorship, but I'm seeing if there's maybe some setting on that should not be. I don't know.
Chat has its own personal censor.
I do not.
Shell, how dare you?
It's Shell.
I'm kidding, Shell.
Yeah, we're kidding. But I will take a look at is there like a privacy and safety area that like might have something that makes it so people like it's naturally just saying things?
We will work on it after the stream, Shell said.
Yeah, we will. I don't see anything on my end that is popping out and saying that there should be censorship or anything like that.
I will say that hashtag Dalton hates Shell is starting to trend in the comments.
I do not. That is a lie. That is misinformation. I disavow that. And Shell's great. And so ignore that. That is
also,
a lie. All right.
Fake news.
Yeah, fake news for sure. Now, in real news, I'm going to play this clip and let's get you guys' reaction.
Earlier, the president sat down with journalist Ed Gordon for an interview with BET News. Gordon asked the president if there is anything, including family members, that would make him reevaluate staying in the race.
If there had some medical condition that emerged, if the doctors came to me and said, you got this problem, that problem. But I made a serious mistake in the whole debate. And look, when I originally ran, you may remember it, I said I was going to be a transitional candidate. And I thought that I'd be able to move from this, just pass it on to someone else. But I didn't anticipate things getting so divided. And quite frankly, I think the only thing age brings a little bit of wisdom. And I think I've demonstrated that I know how to get things done for the country, in spite of the fact that we told we couldn't get it done. But there's more to do, and I'm reluctant to walk away from that.
I would like to point out that he said that he was going to be a transitional president, but then he realized things are getting so divided during his term. I wonder why.
He demonstrated that he knows how to get things done.
Yeah, like dividing us more.
Yeah, well, he didn't say what he knows how to get done, so I guess he's not wrong.
He was intentionally vague there. By the way, letting everyone know, there was a comment setting that was basic chat protection. Maybe that was it. I don't know. You guys can check it out and see if that works better. I don't know. I did turn that to, we moderate ourselves here. So hopefully it's all good. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah. All right. So next thing I wanted to share, following up with that interview, this dropped about 3 hours after that. Dropped.
Who will make America?
Oh, wait. Nope. I think this is the wrong clip. What I meant to show was a clip that said basically Biden got COVID.
Yeah, I don't think that one says that was
No,
from
it was
the RNC.
It was. I thought I don't know why that. I think I copied the wrong note hours ago when I was putting this list together.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
So, but yeah. Anyway, Biden got COVID. So 3 hours after that dropped, which is I don't know. Is that convenient? Because it kind of seems like this. He opened the door for his exit with all that talk, and with now Chuck Schumer coming out saying that he needs to drop out. With Adam Schiff coming out and saying that he needs to drop out. I mean, it's starting to, the deck is getting stacked up against him with all these Democrats in prominent positions.
Yeah. And what that says to me, though, is we've heard the rhetoric from the Biden camp that he's not going to drop out, that he said, I'm not going to drop out. And that seems to be over the past week, just more and more saying, if this happened, and then all these other Dems coming forward. I believe there was even a coalition of Democrats that had been formed to gently inform him that they don't want him to run.
Gently. So Josie, the redheaded libertarian, shared this a few minutes ago, and I figured it would be too good not to share. So this is the first time I'm watching this, but it's going to be very funny. You guys ready?
I love Josie. Sorry.
She's great.
Fun.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yep. Here we go.
Here's the question that I have on that. These two men are both elderly. Donald Trump is an elderly man who, for whatever reason, was given 9 seconds to take a iconic photo op during an active shooter situation. Weird situation. We'll figure that out one day. But his survival of that and bouncing right back and going right to his convention is being conveyed in the media world as a sign of strength. This current president of the United States is 81 years old and has COVID. Should he be fine in a couple of days? Doesn't that convey exactly the same thing? That he's strong enough, older than Trump, to have gotten something that used to really be fatal to people his age. So if he does fine out of it and comes back and is able to do rallies, isn't that exactly the same? I mean, it's not exactly the same. It's not the same incident, but it's an elderly man coming through out of an illness.
It should.
So Donald Trump getting shot in the head is the same as Biden getting COVID for like the fourth time. So
for some reason, they gave him a photo op. You mean the people filming what was going on at the rally, taking photos when a guy just got shot
on live television?
You know what it is? It's because people finally realized that it's not as big a deal as it used to be for the one thing, and that the reason why the older people were dying with it is because it was something that was going to hurt them. It was something that was going to take them out no matter what. So now you're trying to compare Mother Nature to an act of evil and an act of straight sadistic nature. There's a difference between Mother Nature doing what she does with diseases and natural disasters and somebody else taking somebody's life into their own hands, or at least attempting to.
Not only that within COVID, we've developed better treatments. When we started out, we were doing a lot of the wrong things that caused a lot of people, to die. Like, I don't know, the current New York governor throwing a bunch of people into nursing homes with elderly people without any idea how to treat any of them and then killing them all. That.
Hey, that one woman did the same thing. Gretchen Whitmer.
Oh, yeah. Gretchen. Weird. Isn't she on the hot ticket to maybe replace Biden should, something cause him to drop out?
Or Kamala's VP. I mean, two women on a ticket. I mean, that kind of seems like a Democrat,
wet dream.
Yeah.
That sounds like something.
It sounds like an STD, but still. It's such an ass. And was that CNN, by the way?
That was MSNBC.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, I got to give credit where credit is due. The Clinton News Network has definitely been a little bit more favoritist in the beginning hours of the thing with Trump.
No, in the beginning hours, they posted a headline that said, Secret Service had to take Trump off of stage because he fell.
Loud noise.
And then there were loud noises.
Yeah, they
and
all
then shooting.
To be honest, even Fox was like, "Hey."
They went out of their way not to call it an attempted assassination. Yeah, situation, loud noises, falling down.
He fell.
Even went so far try to say that it was the teleprompter, the glass from the teleprompter that hit his ear, and it's just like, well, are you guys retarded or are you guys stupid? Because it's one of the two, or it's both. And so, because if you look at the video, the teleprompters, they don't get touched at all. And then also, if you look at the video with your own eyes, you can actually see that his ear is nowhere, like his right side of the ear isn't pointing towards the teleprompters. His left side of the ear is, and his right side of the ear is the one that's bleeding. So it's like either you're stupid or you're retarded, or you're both.
Yeah, or you're just a flat out liar.
But that's what I'm leading to. That's what I'm leading to. You're either that, and then you're leading into, oh, well, we're just going to tell the people that it's this because they're going to trust us. They don't have eyes.
Let me ask you both a question. Do you see the media trying, like the way that the media has behaved as of late? Let's just say in general. Do you see the intentional, because let's be real, there are some things that have been intentionally 100% either verifiably they are fucking full of shit, right?
Yeah.
Do you see that as an act of evil?
Yeah. I generally think it is. Yeah.
Because what I see that is there's a point where it's not just stupidity or incompetence, it's willful. And I think that once it becomes willful, it is evil, because now you full knowing that you are full of shit, full knowing that these things have consequences, these lies have consequences, you are still going to say it.
Yep.
Well, they do it for an outcome. They do it for an outcome.
Yeah.
Every time they lie, they do it for an outcome that they are anticipating their audience will react to.
Did you see the picture that I forget who it was on X? There was some girl that shared on X saying, "See, it's all bullshit. Trump doesn't have any bit of his ear or anything." And the photo was from 2 years ago. And upon having that be pointed out, they doubled down, started blocking anyone that said that, and reposting it after getting community noted. So they have since been community noted again. And by the way, it says, this photo's from 2 years ago. Enough said. And I'm just like,
it was a beautiful but brutal and short and sweet community. You know, it was gorgeous. Yeah, it was glorious. All right, so how are we looking over at the RNC? What do you see on your screen? Who's speaking?
We have had quite a few ads. We had some veterans that spoke about why they're supporting Donald Trump. Right now, I don't know who this is. Okay. It is a dude with a beard, and I will show you what he looks like very, very shortly, just so everybody can see.
I was gonna say, are they going in an order from the list?
I believe they're going in an order from the list. I did find that they said that we're not going to be hearing from JD Vance until a little bit later in the evening, which was I think 9:30. They're saying 9:30 to 10. I believe he's going to be the final speaker. I don't know who this is.
I'm trying to determine what that crest on his jacket is, because he's wearing a.
We can't hear it, Tack.
ODA.
You still can't hear it?
No. I think you have to approve your system setting thing for system audio.
This is.
I know.
It's on.
Hey, man.
It's on.
You give it. Are you sharing a screen or a tab?
Oh, maybe that's why. That's why.
Yep.
That's why. Chrome tab. There we go.
Yep.
Shout for the American.
Perfect.
Thank you.
I don't know who this guy was.
The oppresso liber. God
bless
America.
Who is this?
Special Forces.
Oh, was he special? Okay, so he's not like a notable politician that I should know.
He was probably just some vet guy that pulled on, but he was Special Forces because the oppresso libertaire is the
music
motto of Special Forces.
Okay,
which
all right,
makes sense because that tab kind of looks like the SF
Oh, okay.
Logo,
So,
if you want to call
well, as
it
I said,
logo.
they were having veterans on, so that does track.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who he is.
He could just be an SF member. He could be one of the spokesmen for SF community, like Green Beret community, at veterans things.
Okay.
Every veteran community has a spokesperson for something.
Is that
Rangers have them? Obviously, Special Forces has them.
Yeah.
Airborne has them, so on and so forth.
It's just music, by the way. That's just Trump walking out onto the floor.
Yep. So, hey, have you look at this? Look at this real quick. Have you noticed anything since the shooting took place?
Oh, what's
Look
that
at
on his ear?
No, well, no, not that. Look at all those surrounding him, though. Look at all those surrounding him.
It's so his Secret Service detail has quadrupled at a minimum.
What else have you noticed?
They're all
I
men.
don't see the same group of people. I'll tell you that much.
It likely isn't. There might be one same guy. I don't know. I'm not really paying that much of attention, but
wait, did you see Marco Rubio's face? Because he still looks so depressed.
He does. Oh man, Trump just threw him under the bus at that one event. He just was like, "Hey, Marco," the entire event, and then he didn't even announce that he was his VP. It was beautiful.
By the way, just letting everybody here know, I'm actually more technologically sound in this kind of stuff than Dalton. It's just I don't use StreamYard. I use OBS.
Okay, whatever. Okay, whatever.
You're good at coding. I'm good at. Hey Dalton. It's not letting me upload the video. It's not letting me upload the intro video. What do we do? Do we share the video?
I mean, that was a very good plan B. Yes.
Okay, so thank you.
Whatever.
It's okay. The least technologically sound person here is Grim.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually.
So you got the governor of Texas. You got Marco Rubio.
Yep.
You got Glenn Youngkin. You got Donald Trump Jr.
Yes. Now, what I will say is
Lauren
that
Boebert, you got the speaker. You got that one chick in the back, pink dress.
Wasn't Lauren Boebert the one that got caught in a movie theater?
Yes.
Yeah, would. Holy hell, would. I am sorry. Grim, how much would it take for you to get a handy from Lauren Boebert in a movie theater?
Not an option.
Not an option? Why?
Well, I don't think it was a movie.
I don't know who that is, so I don't.
Lauren Boebert? You don't know who the congresswoman is?
Not by name. I recognize the face. I'm terrible with names. You know this.
It's not her because, oh my dear Lord, that mouth. God. So how much do you guys want to bet that if you spit on her lips or lick them really, really hard, you could stick her to a glass window?
Who is this?
This is Don Jr.'s wife.
I'm so sorry, Don Jr.
I believe.
How does your mom look like something like actually decent and you marry that?
I was gonna say I also believe, and I'm pretty sure it's this this wife of one of the the sons of Trump, but I'm pretty sure she also dated Gavin Newsom.
People are saying volume. Do we want to hear what Don Jr.'s wife has to say?
This election will decide the fate of our great nation. And that is why we must elect President Donald John Trump.
Nope, that's not Kristi Noem.
No, it's not. Yeah, no. What my question is that plastic? That's plastic surgery, right?
I mean, I'm not somebody who pays attention to plastic surgery, but it's not normal.
Have you seen all the plastic surgery going around these days?
I mean, she looks like she got her surgery done by the guy who understudied, who was the person who did Dolly Parton.
Is a choice between Joe Biden's
vision. Don't shame Dolly Parton. Dolly's an American treasure.
Say that's kind of a low blow.
Vision of American greatness.
That's why I said the understudy of the surgeon who did Dolly's. It looks almost like Dolly's, but like missing key details.
We get what you're saying, yeah.
He will make America feared by our adversaries and respected by our friends. And most importantly,
you guys want to listen to this real quick, or do you guys want to hear the Vivek speech?
Let's listen to the Vivek speech. Let's listen to the Vivek speech.
He's coming across a little third Reiki for me.
Everybody takes a third Reich.
Oh God. All right, so the Vivek speech is about 8.5 minutes. So I will pop that up real quick.
I'm going to stop sharing my screen
real quick.
All right, you guys ready?
Trust, guys. It's going to be a much better speech, and there's a reason. Why is that, Dalton?
Because Vivek is
because it's fucking Vivek.
Phenomenal speaker, just top notch, really.
Ladies and gentlemen, now please welcome businessman Vivek Ramaswamy of Ohio.
Don Jr.'s fiance. Okay, they're not married yet.
Oh, fiance. Okay, well, all right.
You can do better, Don.
Pretty sure she dated Gavin Newsom, so there's that.
Could do way better. Holy hell. God damn. Crank the volume a little bit on this, Dalton.
I think that's as far as it goes. Yep.
Love it. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the warm welcome. It's good to be back in Milwaukee. This time last year, I was a candidate for U.S. president, and I'm proud to say that I achieved the impossible, which is that most of you actually know how to say my name by now. So thank you for that.
Not everybody.
Vivek
Grim
like
can't.
Cake.
It's good to be back.
It's Vivek like cake.
We're in the middle of a national identity crisis right now. Faith,
Have you figured it out, Grim?
patriotism, hard work, and family have disappeared.
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Only to be replaced by race,
Vivek.
gender, sexuality, and climate. But we're not going to win this election just by criticizing the other side. We're going to win this by standing for our own vision of who we really are. What does it mean to be a Republican in the year 2024? What does it mean to be an American in the year 2024? It means we believe in the ideals of 1776. It means we believe in merit, that you get ahead in this country, not on the color of your skin, but on the content of your character and your contributions. It means we believe in the rule of law. And I say this as the kid of legal immigrants to this country. That means your first act of entering this country cannot break the law. That is why we will seal the southern border on day one.
Yes.
He said we.
It means the people who we elect to run the government ought to be the ones who actually run the government, not unelected bureaucrats in the deep state. These are not black ideas or white ideas. They are not even Democrat ideas.
I think it's a miscalculation on Trump's part.
They are American ideas that we fought a revolution to secure. And the man who will revive these ideals in the United States of America is your next president, the 47th president of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Listen to that crowd.
Yeah.
If you want to seal the border, vote Trump. If you want to restore law and order in this country, vote Trump. If you want to reignite the economy in this country, vote Trump. If you want to revive national pride in this country, vote Trump. If you want to make America great again, vote Trump. But there is one more reason I'm going to ask you to vote Trump, and it's the most important one. It's the one the media won't talk about, but it's the truth. Donald Trump is the president who will actually unite this country, not through empty words, but through action. Because you know what? Success is unifying. Excellence is unifying. That's who we are as Americans. That's who we've always been. To those of you watching this at home tonight, I'd like to deliver a message that the media doesn't want you to hear from the Republican Party. Our message to Black Americans is this. The media has tried to convince you for decades that Republicans don't care about your communities, but we do. We want for you what we want for every American. Safe neighborhoods, clean streets, good jobs, a better life for your children, and a justice system that treats everyone equally, regardless of your skin color and regardless of your political beliefs.
And the end of the entire Fed.
Our message to every legal immigrant in this country is this. You're like my parents. You deserve the opportunity to secure a better life for your children in America. But our message to illegal immigrants is also this. We will return you to your country of origin, not because you're all bad people, but because you broke the law. And the United States of America was founded on the rule of law. Our message to millennials, speaking as one myself. Yes, it's true.
How old
Our
is
government
Vivek
sold
again?
us a false bill of goods
38.
with the Iraq War
38.
and the 2008
You're
One
younger
year
than
younger than
Vance.
loading up
Yep.
our
Okay.
national
He's
debt
an
that
elder
falls on
millennial,
our
but still
generation's
millennial.
shoulders,
Mhm.
telling us that if we took out college loans, we'd somehow get a head start on the American dream when it hasn't worked out that way. But we can't just be cynical about our country because the United States of America is still the last best hope that we have, and we deserve a better class of politician, one who actually tells us the truth, even if it comes with some mean tweets from time to time.
Who's the best tweet?
And our message to Gen Z is this. You're going to be the generation that actually saves this country. You want to be a rebel? You want to be a hippie? You want to stick it to the man? Show up on your college campus and try calling yourself a conservative. Say you want to get married.
It's accurate.
Have kids.
Yeah, he's not
Teach them to
wrong.
believe in God.
These
and pledge
days, that
allegiance
is
to their
accurate.
country.
They riot. Yeah, they riot.
Counterculture
because
has
of that.
Fear
changed.
has been infectious
Yeah.
in this country, but courage can be contagious too. That too is what it means to be an American.
What if they called them hippies, though?
And you know what? If you're at
Right.
home and you disagree with everything I just said, our message to you is this. We will still defend to the death your right to say it, because that is who we are as Americans. We are the country where we can disagree like hell and still get together at the dinner table at the end of it. That is the America I know. That is the America we miss. We do not have to be ancient Rome. We don't have to be this nation in decline. We can still be a nation in our ascent. A nation whose best days, not in some fake politician way, but in a true way, a nation whose best days are actually still ahead of us. Still on our way to that shining city on a hill, that country where no matter who you are, or where your parents came from, or what your skin color is, or how long your last name is, that you will still get ahead in this country with your own hard work, your own commitment, your own dedication, and that you know what? You are free to speak your mind at every step of the way. That is the American dream. That is what won us the American Revolution. That is what reunited us after the Civil War. That is what won us 2 world wars and the Cold War. That is what still gives hope to the free world.
We
And
can.
if we
Give me a
revive
moment,
that
though. I
dream
gotta pee.
over group identity and victimhood and grievance, then nobody in the world, not a nation, not a corporation, not a virus, not China, is going to defeat us. That is what American exceptionalism is all about. And that is what we will revive this November when we send Donald J. Trump back to the White House. Thank you all. God bless you and your families. And may God bless our United States of America. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, incredible. Vivek is awesome.
I do have
Vivek
one note on what he
2028.
said, though.
Yeah.
There's only one thing I take issue with that he mentioned in that entire spiel.
Okay.
He said we won the Cold War. Cold War is not over.
I was gonna say, yeah. I mean,
We
could
may
argue
have won
definitely that
the
it's not over
skirmishes,
yet.
but yeah, we may have won the ones that deemed it the Cold War, but it's still an ongoing thing, and it will be.
Do you think it's
eternity.
more of a cold? Do you think it's more of a Cold War or a culture war? Are you talking about like between our country or between other countries still?
So between our country, so the concept of the Cold War was an ideological war. It's a battleground of thought processes and government structures.
Right.
It was capitalism versus communism.
And a race
Until
to kinda
either
see
one
who
is
could-
completely gone, the war is not won. That's why I hated the definition
kind of a
of
fair
the term that
perspective.
they put into place for the war on terror. We did not win a war on terror either.
Yeah,
sorry, I
well,
was talking to my dog.
you can never win a war on an action.
Yeah, you can't win a war against an ideology. The only way to win a war against an ideology is to eradicate the ideology. And then the issue is, if you eradicate an ideology, you have to eradicate anyone that has that thought in their head. The minute the thought or the word itself presents itself again in the future, the ideology is not dead.
Which is a violation of the First Amendment as well.
Exactly.
Well, I was going to say the only thing that I would counter that with is freedom of speech. And the more freedom of speech that you have against that one thing, that one ideology, and if you time and time again prove why it's wrong, I think that's another, thing rather than, I think it's kind of what you're going with, but also
you could declare also that once the ideology is so no longer pervasive enough and has no power, here's the thing
on its own.
Yeah, you'll never kill communism as an ideology, right? But you can convince, hopefully, I don't know, there's a lot of stupid people. You can hopefully convince enough people that group stays as extraordinarily small and has no power, has no sway, has no influence whatsoever, and therefore it kind of does die, because what's the point?
It's become a non-threat at that point. It's not that the war on the ideology is over, it's the war on the threat of the ideology is over at that point.
Yes. Now, question really quick. Where would you guys like to see what cabinet positions do you think would be a good fit for Vivek?
I think Secretary of State or Homeland Security or maybe not Homeland Security. What am I thinking of?
Commerce?
No, not. Well, I mean, I'm look, whatever position I'm sure he would excel in. It's just finding that right position that's right for him. I've argued. I think the last episode I argued I'm not in favor of creating any new department,
new
or anything.
agent.
If I was, it would be one specifically for Vivek, just shutting all the other departments down in the executive.
I'm going to change mine. I don't think Secretary of State's right for him.
Okay.
Secretary of State would be a good position for him. I'm not going to deny it if that's what he's given. But that runs its own department, doesn't have near as much influence and one-on-one time with the president as a position I'd actually like to see him in.
Well, plus it also has a lot of, its own schedule. It has its own defined duties. It's Vivek is very much somebody he's an executive. He can figure things out on his own. He doesn't need he doesn't need the role or the position defined for him. He can do that himself. And I think that's where he would exceed the most in doing.
I think Chief of Staff.
Yeah, I've heard that argument, but I'm kind of iffy on it. I don't know. I mean, so the reason why I say that is how many times has a chief of staff, a White House chief of staff, or chief of staff to the president
become president?
I understand what you're saying, but that
zero times in history.
That would be next in line would be JD Vance either way now at this point. So yeah, I think that a chief of staff in that position of someone of Vivek's caliber or Vivek himself.
Vivek.
Okay, I'm going to keep saying it that way. Shut up.
Uh-oh. I'm going to fix my camera. Give me 1 second.
Putting him in chief of staff makes it so that he has direct communication with Donald Trump and JD Vance on a pretty consistent basis.
But that's only thinking in the term of presidency. That's not looking to, because here's the thing. Dalton and I are both coming from the perspective of prepping him to be president.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And another thing that you have to consider is if he is chief of staff, he serves at the pleasure of the president, which means if they have a disagreement, if they have a very big disagreement and Trump, is, in a mood, he could fire him. Yep. And, then where is Vivek?
Yeah.
So another argument is, okay, well, JD Vance is now advancing to VP position. So that leaves the Senate an open seat in Ohio. and the governor could appoint Vivek to that position to fill that seat. So the question is, would Vivek best be served in a Trump administration or in the Senate as a senator?
By the way, I did post it. I did not include. It only let me pick 4 options, but I did put a poll up.
Give me 1 second. Yeah. So, okay, you finish your thing real quick.
I put up 4 poll options: Secretary of State, Secretary of Commerce, Chief of Staff, and Secretary of Defense. Currently, Secretary of State is winning with 46%.
Awesome.
Vivek would not be good for Sec Defense. I'll drop that now.
I don't think it's going to be considered. He's not going to be considered for
I don't
that.
think
Real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick, I got to let my dog out real quick. And while I'm out, I do want to play this video because it popped up just a few minutes ago. It's of Donald Trump at the RNC, and he's giving a little bit of a speech. So here it is.
Love it.
But I got lucky. God was with me. That's what they call close call. That was an amazing, horrible thing, amazing thing. In many ways, it changes your attitude, your viewpoint on life. And I think, honestly, I think you appreciate God even more, really, because something happened. Not that it was pleasant. It wasn't like it was a complete miss, but it was pretty terrible that can happen, and it happens too often. We have things going on, just crime in our country is so bad, and things are going on with our country. We're going to fix it. We're going to make it. Yes. We're going to bring it back. We're going to get rid of the criminals. There's so many people coming in. It's so sad when they come in.
The audio is so low quality though because of the echo.
It is.
Yeah, sorry. From all over the world, the people are coming from. It's a problem I talk about. To me, it's the border. It's so big. In 2016, it was the border, and we fixed it. And I kept saying, well, let's talk about it for 2020. The people said, all my geniuses said, oh, we can't talk about that. You've already fixed it. I said, I want to talk about the border. I fixed it. Nobody's interested. The fact is, in 2016, we had a really bad border, but it was a tiny fraction of what it is now. What it was in 2016, we'll take it right now. It was much better. And I fixed it easily. We built hundreds of miles of wall. That wall, without the wall, you would be 10 times worse off than you are right now, if that's possible. And I'm not sure it's possible because people are flowing in by the millions and millions. I think it's going to be 20 million. By the time we get this guy out, we have to get him out. If we don't get him out, we're not going to have a country. We're really not going to have a country. It's so bad.
It's a little hard to hear what he's saying, but
yeah,
it is. But I mean, I'm surprised he was even talking before his big speech tomorrow night.
Especially given the topic that I was able to pick a little bit up on. He was talking about how he felt like he had a protecting hand on Saturday.
Well, if you've watched the video, just like all of the things that come into him turning his head at that fraction of a second is insane. Also, I'm replying to Soul Gazelle right now. Soul Gazelle, for anybody who's just audio right now, has said tech for Sec of Defense based on his Marine Corps background, which I am not a Marine.
Well done.
Tack, what's your favorite color crayon?
I don't like crayons.
Yeah.
See, I can't be a Marine. It's literally impossible. I don't like crayons.
No, that just means he's a combat correspondent Marine. That's what it means.
Oh, fucking God damn it.
All right. So this video just popped up in my feed.
Oh, I hate Van Jones so much.
Yep. This video just popped up. We're going to play it and it's going to be funny. You guys ready?
Oh, let's get ready. Everybody in the chat.
If you pull back and look at this thing,
terrible video.
A bullet couldn't stop Trump. A virus just stopped Biden.
So a bullet couldn't stop Trump. A virus just stopped Biden is what he said. That's like common sense for the very first time coming out of his mouth.
I'm actually surprised to hear that from Van Jones because I did see the other day that he was kind of going off on what I would call a Destiny-esque kind of rant. Where he was losing his fucking mind about all of this and how people were like, turning Trump into, I guess I wouldn't want to say a messiah, but that he was, being revered even more for how he reacted with pumping his fists and stuff like that. And he was, of course, pulling his typical Van Jones BS about how that didn't make any sense because my name is Van Jones and I know things. Van Jones doesn't know. Van Jones couldn't read the fucking instructions in the back of like how to make cereal.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't even think they have instructions on the back of how to make cereal. To be honest,
yeah, but like, you couldn't follow a YouTube tutorial on how to pour cereal into a bowl. He'd like pour it onto the counter and then like hire somebody to do it for him.
I don't think that's a good comparison though, because there's actually a big debate on what gets poured first, milk or cereal.
Cereal.
Oh God. Well, yeah, cereal, absolutely.
Yeah, no. Anybody who pours milk first, you are a sociopath, and I have no problem calling you such.
Okay, no, I go one step further. Anybody who puts the milk in first is a communist.
Oh,
okay, fair. Now I'm gonna quick follow up. Which side does the toilet paper go on?
Goes out, top,
roll
down.
Top. If you roll it up underneath it, you're also communist.
Over, not under.
Over, not under. Yes.
Not under, but over.
Yes.
And the patent is actually with that over, not under. So anybody who puts it under, communist.
You're a communist.
Yes. Now, I would like to also point out that we did, Dalton and I talked about this, and Grim, I'm not sure if you saw it and came across it, but there was I believe a police-involved shooting outside of the RNC. There was an armed man. I don't know if he had a knife and a gun or just a knife. Anyway, it is unrelated.
Yeah,
it was just a crazy dude that the police had to deal with.
Yep, just Milwaukee being Milwaukee.
I don't think I've ever been to Milwaukee. Is it not a nice place?
That's what happens when you take their cheese away.
Well,
because I just saw in chat, man arrested near Republican. Oh, here we go. Man arrested near Republican National Convention had an AK-47 pistol, a scream mask, and a security uniform.
Ooh, okay, interesting.
By the way,
that's unrelated.
We have 8 minutes until we've got what do you call it? Vance's speech, to my knowledge.
Okay, cool.
Yes, Milwaukee's in Wisconsin. That's why I said the chief.
My dad just texted me. He said Vivek for head of Homeland Security, and he said that he can unscrew some of the things that the current he used some colorful language, but has done Mayorkas. So yeah.
Here's the thing.
One of the departments that Vivek was talking about
reorganizing, I believe. Yes.
Or was that one of the ones he was talking about completely dismantling?
Well, just keep in mind, if he was, I don't think it was one of the departments that he was looking at dismantling. No, he was more focused on like the FBI and some of the ATF stuff and all that stuff. But Department of Homeland Security, you know who I believe that they are in charge of? The Secret Service, Director of Secret Service.
Oh.
So Vivek being in that position.
Oh, I just want to point out.
I think actually
it's kind of weird because he is a businessman and not
Treasury.
What's that?
I think the Secret Service reports to the Department of Treasury because their other concept besides defending the president is investigating financial crimes.
That's true. Maybe I'm not sure if somebody wants to check us on that. Perhaps. I mean, I can definitely see that being the case too.
Now, can I have I'm going to have an unpopular opinion here. So I do believe that this person had ill intent. The article that I have pulled up. Federal agents stopped Kinsley, who consented to a search of his backpack, where the agent immediately found an AK-47 pistol known as a Draco. When asked if he had a concealed carry permit, he admitted that he did not. My issue with this is that concealed carry permits should not be a thing. Period.
Yeah.
The presence of a firearm does not indicate crime, nor does it declare intent. It is the use of said tool. Now, that being said, Also found in the backpack was a magazine fully loaded with rifle ammunition, a Scream movie mask, a flashlight, and 2 sets of black gloves, 1 pair of sunglasses, an Allied Universal Security uniform shirt,
no,
2 cans of spray paint, and multiple empty designer marijuana bags. 2 cell phones were also found in his pant pockets. So he had a burner phone.
But
yeah,
somehow not
only
related.
that, there was an Allied Universal Security uniform. Allied Universal is a big security company that he could have just been an employee from. That now they're going to catch a lot of flack.
This is from Tuesday. This is the man who was holding 2 knives about a mile from the convention center. But this was that was unrelated. But this, it looks like, might have been related. Somebody attempting to gain entry into the RNC with all of these things. Does seem a little sussy-wussy. Just saying.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. Was he also in a partridge in a pear tree? Who knows? Could have been a big duffel bag. We don't know.
Right.
I mean, we got a bag that's big enough to have held all that stuff too.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Yeah, I think with all of the other effects that he was carrying, I think that kind of led to at least obviously probable cause, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, because it seems like there's no reason to have a Scream mask unless you're trying to conceal identity. There's no reason to have that security outfit with it unless you're trying to gain entry into somewhere. So at least
Maddie,
I
you
could
were a
say
really crappy
probable
packer
cause.
in your bug out bag. One of the two.
Yeah, no, fair. You know, I mean, my bug out bag has survival, stuff and guns.
Because that makes sense.
I
mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, well, that's kind of the intent. Yeah.
Right.
So
it's the purpose of a bug out bag.
Exactly.
24-hour and 48-hour bags, 72-hour bags, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So Tech, who's speaking right now at the RNC?
A tattooed lady. I don't know who it is. Once again, I don't know who half of these people are. I think that these might be relatives of people. I'm not exactly sure who this is. Let's see. Can you guys hear it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're saying don't forget.
I'm assuming this is somebody who lost their life, or the wife of somebody who lost their life.
Joe,
I would assume so. There's Purple Hearts.
Men and women that served in Afghanistan a debt of gratitude and an apology.
This might be either the mother or relative of one of the 13 soldiers who passed away in Afghanistan.
Yes.
If I had to take a
Trump
guess.
loves this country and will never forget the sacrifice and bravery of our service members. Join us in putting him back in the White House.
It is.
Yeah. Okay. That makes a lot more sense now. By the way, Secretary of State won 50% on that poll.
Interesting.
I'm
Okay.
Alicia Lopez, and this is my husband, Herman. Our son,
These are the
Corporal
parents.
Hunter Lopez,
Yeah.
whose name Joe Biden has refused to say out loud, was killed on August 26, 2021. He died during Joe Biden's disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan. Hunter was 22 years old and planned to come home to California after his tour to follow in our footsteps. Herman and I work for the Riverside County Sheriff's Office. And our family has a tradition of service in law enforcement. Hunter was excited to carry it on. Instead, in the nearly 3 years since Hunter's been gone, there has been silence. Silence from that empty space at the dinner table, where Hunter would have joined his brothers and sister and us for family gatherings. And there has been a deafening silence from the Biden and Harris administration.
Despite our pleas, answers, and accountability, they have pushed us away and tried to silence us. The Biden administration has not owned up to the bad decisions. They have not been transparent about their failures, and their so-called leaders work to protect themselves rather than our sons and daughters who took the oath to defend our country.
Say the names, Joe.
Thank you. When Hunter and the other service members' bodies were returned to the U.S. in Dover, Delaware, Joe Biden met the plane. But he made the occasion more about his son, lost to cancer, than our sons and daughters, lost on his watch. Worse than that, he has never said their names out loud. And during last month's debate, he claimed no service members died during his administration.
He didn't even remember.
Yep. It would have been amazing if Trump just listed off all the names of the service members at the debate.
So Alicia and I,
well, he did during his
13 service members
rally.
He did.
Who lost their lives. All 13 service members who lost their lives at Abbey Gate. David Espinoza. Nicole G. Taylor Hoover. Ryan C. Knaus. Riley McCollum.
The audience chanting it back.
Dylan Marola. Kareem Nakui. Dagan Page. Johanny Pitardo.
Totally forgot I was wearing a hat.
Humberto Sanchez. Jared Schmitz. Maxton Sobiak. And my son, Hunter Lopez.
Mercedes brothers.
Ah. Oh, damn.
Joe Biden has to go. He failed the American people. He failed the Afghan people and our military service members. He failed our family, and he failed Hunter. Donald Trump has a proven record of keeping the peace and honoring those in uniform.
Can I say something? This seems like probably the most hyped up RNC that I have seen.
Time. I've seen bits and parts of things from years past, but I would have to probably agree.
Yeah.
The efforts of Mr. Trump. We know this firsthand. We've experienced it.
Yeah, you're right, Sol.
Whenever we've
That's the
met with
difference
him,
between the
he has
two presidents.
demonstrated
One that
compassion.
wouldn't even salute them properly
He's
at
joined us
the
on our mission
transition.
And look at his watch.
And he has given
and
to our extended.
won't remember the
Gold Star
names of the people he left behind versus the president that got off Marine Corps One, walked back over to pick up the Marines cover and put it back on his head
Now,
before getting back
we have
on the
another
army.
son
Yeah.
serving
That's the
in the
difference in
army.
leaders.
And we do not trust Joe Biden with his life.
I understand that.
We have faith that Donald Trump to lead our military. Please join us in supporting Donald Trump for president and commander
Jared, I
in
think
chief.
that's just you, man.
Could be. I don't know. I turned off all the settings.
Don't drink too much, so.
So Trump speaks tomorrow, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I believe we're going to get JD Vance any moment now, because it was supposed to be 9:30.
Struggle to get control of their students. At UNC Chapel Hill, they are bringing order back. Students restoring the American flag and singing the national anthem.
Oh yeah, weren't these guys getting invited to the RNC, right?
Protesters began to take down the American flag, and that's when the guys stepped in.
Not sure if anybody
Patriotic
remembers
fraternity
this.
brothers
They
stepped in and
refused.
said, "Not today, Hamas."
They
A group of
refused to
frat
let the
brothers
flag be torn
defended
down.
The American flag from anti-Israel protesters. I held the Israeli flag, and they held up the American flag while protesters chanted at us, screamed at us. I was told to kill myself about 50 times. Called a white supremacist.
Phil's not wrong. He says, I understand why they had the angry turtle guy at the start. Would have been pissing the Cheerios tonight. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I was so annoyed with him.
Oh, we know. We know.
Oh, to answer the question from earlier, from 1865 at the founding of the Secret Service until 2003, they were under the Department of Treasury, like I said. But in 2003 to current, Department of Homeland Security did take the reins as leader.
That makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Thank you for that.
I love America.
Yeah, I did see a message with all the current, DHS, I guess departments that they cover.
Yeah, I did remember learning that they were under the Department of Treasury, though, because they
and
were
that's fair.
responsible for financial crimes. That was their original founding.
You're not wrong. Yeah, absolutely.
So are they having these guys? Is this just them playing an ad, or are they going to have these guys speak?
I mean, it might be possible that they're there.
It is.
There's a lot of people on stage now, so
a lot of people on stage, but there's also music.
Please welcome country music star Brian Kelly and Anthony McGay.
Okay, so it's music. We're going back to music, everybody.
Well, okay. Yeah,
No, they're doing a song.
Speech. It does seem like they're doing a song.
Yeah, no, I mean, that is
Yeah,
very
yeah,
much
he's definitely
that is
Yep.
a singing cowboy right there.
Yeah.
Look at that. Real crappy hat though. Sorry.
I
We'll
do
keep
agree
this-
with that, Mark. JD Vance would have definitely been the right pick for SecDef.
I'd actually agree with that. I think that he would have been really good for that.
Putting a Lance Corporal, Corporal. No, yeah, Lance Corporal, E4, Lance Corporal in the SecDef position.
Now,
all right. So,
what's up?
Oh, I was just gonna say. So, within the last few minutes, Brandon Herrera tweeted something cool. You guys want to see?
Yeah. So we got some news, and does that look familiar to anyone? What is that in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3? Yeah, just tell us. Tell us in the chat. What is that that you currently see? Because if I hear when, it's the only fucking answer I will accept. Remember, it is on a 7-second delay.
In charge of the whole military.
That's true.
Yeah.
Sniffs beautiful.
So
when
there we go. Thank you, Scimitar. It is not a Lynx. That is the AK-50 coming to Modern Warfare 3.
Really?
That is what is going on. Yeah, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is going to have the AK-50, apparently.
Well, I guess we just answered the age-old question. Their AK-50.
Yes, no. Well, I mean, you know, people said where and when, and then he posted the video. And people lost hope after a while.
Yeah,
I've seen quite a few of them, and
it's been many years that he's been saying that it was almost done.
No, that's fair. That is fair.
Kelly, you can say ew to COD all you want, but I can personally attest to the amount of vets that have formed community around that video game, helped each other out, and I've witnessed in person vets being saved from suicide because of that game and the community.
There's an entire esports org built around it called Regimen GG.
Yep, I'm actually part of that group.
Yeah, and so Regimen is, you know, here's the thing: you don't have to like the game, but still, you can be extraordinarily excited about the fact that, you know, first off, I think that's awesome that Brandon's got the opportunity to have something he built immortalized in a video game. That's pretty cool.
Society Z3R0 says that it needs to be with AK Jesus as a skin. I agree.
I agree with that, actually. AK Jesus needs to be a skin. I will buy it. I don't give a shit if it's $20. Fuck it. I will give you $40. Call of Duty.
Right.
All right. So I'm going to pull up a clip real quick. It's 30 seconds. But have you guys seen the Kill Choney episode with Shane Gillis as Trump?
By the way, the boys are speaking, just letting you know. But I have seen this, yes.
Oh, okay. I'm going to play it real quick, 30 seconds.
Hey, Trump, I got a question. You on your debate the other day, you said illegal immigrants are taking black jobs. What the fuck are black jobs?
The illegal immigrants are being extremely loud on buses. They are.
Holy shit. I forgot about that.
All types of stuff that we said this used to be blacks. Remember when this was blacks and we liked it when they were black because they could dance and they were fun. And now the people that are Mexican are not fun.
Hey, Trump, I got a question.
Okay, so now it's repeating, but yeah.
That is.
I thought that was wicked funny.
Oh my God, is that brilliant? Oh my fucking. Shane Gillis is one of the funniest people on the planet.
Never want what happened in 2020 to happen again. But until then, Republicans must win. And we must use every appropriate tool available to beat the Democrats. They are destroying our country. Whether you vote early, absentee, by mail, or in person, we are going to protect the vote. That's the most important thing we have to do is protect the vote. Keep your eyes open.
Another thing, there's a 3-year difference, okay?
And frankly, it's the only thing they do well.
Between Biden and Trump. The energy difference between the two men is undeniable.
It's decades older.
Radical Democrats with
lower the volume just a little bit.
5th. The way you win.
My absolute favorite Donald Trump quote of all time was when he was in front of the White House right before the last election. He goes, I am a young, vibrant man. Joe Biden, I don't know about him. I don't know. It was so funny.
Yeah.
He was so confident and it was beautiful.
We will evict crooked Joe Biden from the White House and we will take back our country on November 5th, 2024.
Indeed, Rev. Share the stream, everybody. If you're enjoying, share the stream. Share with your friends. Send to your family, especially your really, really woke aunt.
Or your communist mom.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome recent Harvard University graduate, Shabbos Kestenbaum.
What a name. Shabbos Kestenbaum.
That's a name that you don't really want to be shouting across the White House.
My name
or at the in the line at the airport.
Oh, he corrected it.
Well, no, he's Jewish. The Shabbos is the Sabbath.
And as of 5 months ago, I am the
That's what the Shabbos is. It is the
Harvard University for its failure to combat anti-Semitism.
I remember this guy. He was the one that was denied entry into the university by the pro-Palestine protesters because he was Jewish.
Yeah, he's now. I'm sorry, I have to say
Harvard to study religion.
He's
the foundation
suing
of Western civilization.
A university for not being allowed to enter.
But a contempt for it.
That teaches law.
My problem with Harvard is not its liberalism
Well,
but it's
you have to remember
illiberalism.
that Harvard law means fuck all
Harvard
when
are
they are
taught
activists,
not
professors,
how to think,
activist college.
but what to think.
Harvard
Yeah, it's
isn't
like
anything anymore.
I found myself
that degree means
immersed
nothing.
in a culture that is anti-Western, that is anti-American, and that is anti-Semitic. After October 7th, the world finally saw what I and so many Jewish students across this country experienced almost every day. When I planted 1,200 Israeli and American flags on campus, they were all vandalized within 24 hours.
Now, here's the thing. I don't give a shit about the Israeli flag. Don't do that to the American flag.
Merely for being a Jew, and have
Agreed.
received countless death threats online.
We're in America. I'm sorry. That's sorry.
Students and professors have openly called for new Hamas-style attacks against the United States.
That is true. And that is disgusting.
And perhaps most
Agreed.
damning, when Hamas terrorists butchered 45
That degree
American
means
citizens on
difficult
October 7th
employee
when they
now.
took
That's
12
so
Americans
accurate.
hostage.
That's
Harvard
so accurate, Phil.
refused to immediately and unequivocally condemn this atrocity.
Anti-Semitism is cringe. Racism, like legitimate racism and anti-Semitism, is cringe.
The anti-Semitic bigotry, unfortunately,
Hate people for the
extends
right
far
reasons.
beyond the universities.
For being a commie.
Although I once voted for Bernie Sanders, I now recognize that the far left has not only abandoned the Jewish people, but the American people.
Not wrong, but I'm also not behind funding Israel's
The
war.
Democratic Party, the party I registered to vote
Hire us
for
as
the
mercenaries,
day I
though. I'm
turned
down for that.
18, has
Oh,
become
there's plenty of
ideological poison.
U.S. businesses in the security industry
is
that would
this
love
poison
the contract.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, yeah. Let them make money, not
young
spend it.
American students.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I know your
Let's
people have
be
the money to
clear.
spend.
Oh, Israel? Israel's a very wealthy country.
Has no
That's
virtue.
what I'm saying. I know they have
Yeah.
money to
Liberalism
spend.
on our campuses
Yeah.
and on our streets has no moral legitimacy.
I'm just blown away by, like, I've met a lot of Hasidic and Orthodox Jews.
Sadly,
He has the most Jewish name I've ever heard. I thought Dr. Shmuel from the Cryptid series was bad, but holy shit.
rising.
His name is Sabbath.
But tonight,
Sabbath
we
dry
fight
bomb.
back.
No, I think it was something different.
I am proud.
I remember the name Bomb is in his name.
Yeah, no, Baum
That's
is.
true. The first part of his last name.
Was it like Rosenbaum?
Who violate our laws, harass
Oh, no.
our Jewish classmates, and desecrate our freedoms.
Random Lamba, you are 100% correct. Private
Lamba.
Enterprise.
Lamba. Did you forget that there's an X?
A president who will instill
I didn't see the
patriotism
X.
in our
I saw 37 after that.
Let's elect a president.
Changing your name to
who
that
will
in Discord
confront
now,
terrorism
Lamba.
and its supporters once again. Let's elect
But yes,
a
no,
president who
100% they are
recognizes
part
that
of
although
the
Harvard
free
and
enterprise
Ivy Leagues
system
have
that
long
U.S.
abandoned the United
establishes.
States of America.
Running
no,
a security
they're free
company and
enterprise.
contracting out.
Because
Now, the
Jewish
consequences that go
values
alongside of that are
American
also part of the
values,
system.
and
That's it.
American values are Jewish values. God bless the United States. God bless the land of Israel. God bless, protect, and return the American hostages in Gaza now.
All right, hey, at least he mentioned the American hostages that are still in Gaza that still have not been fucking dealt
Ladies
with.
and gentlemen, please welcome the parents of an American.
I have seriously
hostage held in
contemplating putting a
Gaza.
team together and going and retrieving them.
Nutra.
Shelly says, I'm a bad Jew. I eat bacon. I guess I'm a horrible Jew too then, because I eat bacon every morning. Shalom Aleichem. Sorry. I was raised by Jews, for anybody who doesn't know, and raising is a very, very kind term, but still.
Our son, Omer, is an American citizen.
Communist Jews, yes.
285 long days
Your
and
parents.
nights,
And
My
for
parents.
context.
Yeah, not the people on the
Right.
RNC.
I felt the need to clarify.
Yes, thank you. You're actually 100% right for that clarification. Apologies, everyone.
Omer, which is a biblical name and means in Hebrew the first crop, is our firstborn. He was born in New York City 1 month after 9/11.
That tracks.
8 months pregnant, I walked across the Queensboro Bridge towards home that day. And here we are, 23 years later, and he's the victim of another vile terrorist attack.
Imagine that 2 terrorist attacks in this guy's life, like from his birth.
He's a connector. He's an
To
extremely
now.
social person. He loves
Yeah.
sports. In high school, he was captain of the soccer ball, volleyball, and basketball teams. He's a natural leader.
The soccer ball team.
And
And he cares deeply about others
I was
and
gonna
about
say they're
helping them
Jewish,
grow.
but
He turned 22.
I don't know how this
On
is going to
October
work, but I want to pop
14,
something up on the
2020.
screen real quick. Choose your fighter. Just
And
saying.
his birthday
Just saying.
as the hostage
I mean, he's
of
not wrong.
Hamas
He is sick.
terrorists.
I'm sick of him.
Imagine.
Does that count?
Over 9
something.
months,
Yeah.
not knowing whether your son is alive, waking up every morning, praying that he too is still waking up every morning, that he is strong and is surviving.
Was the last main hostage
recite
situation
Psalm
was what,
23 in his
Iranian
merit
hostage
every
negotiation?
single day.
Before this, yes, I
גם
believe
כי
so.
אלך בגיא צל מוות, לא ארא כי אתה עמדי. I walk
It was
through
in
the
what,
shadow of
79, right?
the valley of the shadow of the death. I will fear
No, there was
evil,
another hostage situation prior.
For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me.
Bring them home. Bring them home. Bring them home.
That is the.
Bring them
He is
home.
not a loud man, but he doesn't
Bring
need to
them
be, I
home.
guess.
Well, I mean, there is an expression. If you want everyone in the room to hear
brutal
you,
October
whisper to
7
the man
attack
next
on
to you.
Israel,
Fair.
over 1,200 people were slaughtered. Of them, 45 were American citizens. Where is the outrage? Where is it? This was not merely an attack on Israel. This was and remains an attack on Americans.
Yeah, so far, actually, that's a good point. Somebody that we got made in
Omer
chat.
is one of 8 American
There's a lot
hostages,
of religious diversity this year at
and
the
one of
RNC.
120 hostages still left
We've
in
had
Gaza.
Sikh, right?
Citizens of 24
We've had Judaism.
countries and
We've had
5
Christianity.
different religions. Still
Has there been anything else? I mean, we've had Amber Rose, which isn't a religion, but still is like a cultural shift
Yeah.
over.
President Trump called
I mean,
us
of all the things
personally
I think we've
right
covered and
after the
watched, I
attack,
think that's
when
pretty
Omer
accurate.
was taken captive. We know he stands
I'm going to be right back.
with the
for
American
it.
hostages. We need our beautiful son back. And we need your support. We need your support.
There are
to end
still
this
over
crisis and
100
bring all the hostages
hostages
back home.
being held captive by Hamas. 8 are Americans, including the bodies of 3. 5 still believed to be alive.
Bring them home.
Jesus, god damn.
Bring them home.
I'm not sure if Amber Rose was a former Satanist. You could be right on that. I do know she was a former lefty and
We
feminist.
won't stop fighting for you.
Say it with us. Bring them home. Bring them home. Bring them home. Thank you, everybody. God bless Israel and God bless America.
Now, Grim, what are your thoughts about the
Ladies and gentlemen,
wait,
former
hold on.
paratrooper, congressman, and New York State gubernatorial candidate, Lee Zeldin.
Lee Zeldin. You familiar with this guy?
No.
Let's get it. Okay. Yeah, look him up. I was actually going to say,
Wisconsin.
What are your thoughts on the idea of using, of rather than us having necessarily foreign aid, right? The companies that want the help of the United States can hire us.
Agreed.
Do you think there's any
global
downside to that?
commerce is a much better option than financial aid from the government. Allow companies to do business with other countries and companies outside of the United States to bring money back into the U.S. instead of us just giving them money to do it.
So now, what do you think if like a country that we are not necessarily on friendly ties with hired us?
Fighting force.
Again, I support free trade. So if the company were to accept that, that's on that company at that point. That comes down to whether the company wants to take that chance, and if they accept it, then they have to understand what they're signing up for. That's where transparency comes in. So the company does need to be transparent in the U.S. of what they're involving themselves in and who they're involving themselves with. And if they decide to take market share loss on a potential opportunity with a foreign dignitary or foreign nation, that's their decision.
That's fair. I think that that's fair.
President Donald Trump.
Believe me, the court of public opinion will handle any discrepancy.
To a degree. Here's the thing. I mean, Disney is still doing Disney shit. You're still having
in Congress.
To a degree.
But they don't have full transparency either.
Making progress.
True. But how do you mandate transparency then becomes a whole nother issue.
Right.
Right. Moving our embassy in Israel to Jerusalem.
Trump did do
this
that.
This guy's a Republican. He's a House, Senate,
over the Golan
District
Heights.
1, 114th through 117th. He's been serving since 2015 and current member.
Okay, what area of New York is that?
District 1.
Which is?
I have to look up to see what District 1 is.
And the ISIS caliphate
okay.
But
President Trump withdrew from the Iran deal. Stop those insane.
I'm not against tariffs if tariffs are levied properly, chat. I'm not against tariffs. I think because you have to remember that is actually how our founders utilized tariffs over income tax to fund the country.
Yeah.
Obama
It also grows internal businesses whenever you tax businesses importing things versus making them here at home.
Also, you have to have a government small enough that tariffs could fund the government. Like right now, we are at a point where it's so over bloated that there's no way to fund it other than more taxation.
You know what? How do you fix that?
And it's only gotten worse with age.
Destroying all the federal departments.
Limit the amount of money they have. Hit them in the pocketbook. Make sure they don't make all that money. Then they're going to have to cut things that they don't deem necessary. Make them regulate themselves based on the income that they have.
Yeah, but you would have to have them pass a budgetary amendment. And they're not going to do that on continuing resolution because that's how they're operating now.
Since October 7th,
so that would need to be, I think we should have a constitutional amendment that says that the United States Senate, that essentially our country, our government, our Congress cannot spend more than 10% of our overall GDP to run itself. Period.
That's still more generous than I am. We've been over this before already.
No, it is more generous, but I'm just saying like that should be the cap, 10%.
And then he lied about it during last month's debate, claiming that no service
Mark, not just so they could raise more money, it was also so they could get things done that they didn't need themselves tied to.
We must elect
also
President
fair.
Trump.
Let's be real, we also do that. It's called the CIA.
Iron Dome defense shield at home.
Well, it's also called Blackwater.
Yes, Blackwater. Now it's XE International, right? They changed the name.
Constellius.
Okay, they changed it again.
Yeah, it was Constellius. So Constellius bought Academia, which Academia is what Blackwater changed their name to as a short intermission underneath. There's a whole lineage to them, but yeah.
Gotcha. I agree with what he was saying, by the way, that getting a localized Iron Dome in the United States is what we need. I'm done with the offensive spending of funding all these foreign bases and all these other countries. Bring our troops home, train them here, and defend the nation.
And God willing, we will.
Yes, Mark, you're right. It was Alliance Security Group at one point, too. That was after Blackwater that they tried changing their name to before the founder of Blackwater actually stepped down and then changed it.
United States Senate.
Actually, Shelley, you're right. It does.
We are going to elect JD Vance, our next vice president.
Defend the embassy. Embassies should be, yes, you defend our embassies, but it should not be 50 fucking different bases in various countries. That's not needed. Having a rapid response team available to the embassy, and really their job should be get all the documents, burn them all, get the people out.
We are gathered here on freedom's altar. On these shores.
I am very tired of United States expenditure overseas. Not only expenditure of money, but expenditure of life. You're putting people in unnecessary risk when you are sending them into a dangerous zone, even if for diplomatic purposes. So sending them for all this posturing and shit does nothing other than just breed more hate and distrust.
Yep.
Just defend the homeland. That's what we should be focusing on. JD has not spoke yet, Hill of Dirt. So we are still waiting on that.
Coming up. Yeah, he's coming up.
He's coming up.
Okay, so you guys want to hear something crazy? Mark just brought up the fact that G4S bought out most of their contracts. There was a security company earlier tonight that was mentioned. You guys remember what the company's name was?
No.
Kind of a uniform item that was in that one guy's bag. Allied Universal.
Oh, okay.
Allied is the one that bought G4S.
Please welcome World War II hero, William Peckrell.
So Allied now owns most of the contracts that Blackwater had before.
Now, World War II hero, I'm with Brandon Herrera on this. The sad thing is we are not going to see these guys for long.
Nope, we're not.
Yeah.
Look at him. Look at how happy he is.
No, great. He's got good spirits. He's actually got he has more energy than Biden. That should tell you something.
Oh, he's seen more than Biden, too.
Thank you very much.
He speaks better, too.
My name is Bill Peckrell. I'm a proud Wisconsinite. Proud.
He's got his cab, too.
I'm a proud husband of 76 years old and my wife, Rosemary.
Oh, damn.
I'm a father of 11 children.
Holy shit.
Good job.
Yo, man liked it. All right.
5 boys. Our family across 5 generations and a proud World War II veteran.
Can you turn him up a little bit?
I sure can.
I'm 98 years old.
Damn.
Still more energy than Biden.
Yep.
Yes. If Democrats were smart, they'd elect this guy.
The greatest generation.
Yes. So he is looking snazzy in that uniform.
That's an honor, considering America is the greatest nation in the history of the world.
Damn straight to that. Anybody who says otherwise has not lived enough outside of the U.S.
Witness the horror,
or at least doesn't give a crap about the core values of the U.S.
Right.
In the Battle of the Falls,
he was a POW.
My friends and I fought to stop the Nazis' last major push in the Western Front.
Hell yeah. Can we get some love for the Chad?
A few months later,
Yes.
Hitler was dead. Hitler was dead. The Nazis were defeated.
I'm raising a glass to this fucking guy. Damn.
Battle of the Bulge, vet.
Last sip of my beer.
And we gave thanks to Almighty God for delivering us from evil.
No, Kenneth, that's not big energy. That is huge cruise ship fucking size of dick.
But not many of us came home.
That is Nimitz class carrier size.
Wait, what's that movie where the guy rides the nuke?
On that beach.
Yes.
That.
And
I'm more scared of this guy than that guy.
Many of us
Wait, hold on. Let's listen. Let's listen.
Many of us left today. But for us, those who are here, that America is still worth fighting for.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
It hurts my heart to see what our current president
Unavailable.
and
Sorry
vice
for closed
president have
captions.
done to the country I love so well. They humiliated us in Afghanistan. We pushed around in China. Terrorists run wild in the Middle East. And they let our own southern border get overrun. America, people say, America is an idea, but I believe America is much more than that. America is our home.
You ever just want to sit with somebody like this and just hear everything about their life, man?
All the time. Yep. That's why I'm so disappointed in the National VA. VAs and American Legions were like the place to hear these stories, unfiltered, getting that history recorded before it was too late.
Yeah.
Now we got less than a handful of these guys left around.
The Omni Chad.
You know, when I was fighting in Europe and I came back home, I kissed the ground, thanking God that I'm back home in my country.
Welcome home.
And where I come from, when somebody comes for me or my home, you dig in your boots in the ground and never look back. That's the attitude that saved the free world. And those years ago. And President Trump, back in Commander-in-Chief, I would go back to re-enlist today.
Hell yeah, man. I like
Give this guy every single beer.
Yeah, every beer. Buy him one. Buy him cigars.
This
Sit
man
down
should
with
never
this
have
man.
to pay for another beer in his life.
Never.
Kenneth said he can't pronounce Afghanistan, but he's still more intelligent than Biden.
And I was stormed.
He said it much better than Biden did.
My country needs me to.
98, right?
98 years old.
God bless him.
God bless you. God bless our home. And the United States of America.
Hell yeah. Hell fucking yes.
Welcome home, brother.
God bless this man.
Yep.
That guy reminded me so much of my granddad. It's not even funny.
Same.
That guy has the best spirits.
Oh, he is so wonderful. He is so wonderful. You know what? I genuinely think, guys, I want you all, this is, you know what? I'm actually going to give homework for anybody who has the time, because I do realize that not everybody has the time. Go to your local VA groups where there are veterans that are hanging out. Spend time with the guys. Hear their stories. They need somebody to talk to, a lot of these people. Go over there and hear their stories and hear all the things that they have been through. And you will find a whole new respect, not only for them, but this country.
I will further challenge you. Find the guy that's not wearing the Korea hat or the World War II hat, but find that guy that's wearing that Vietnam hat. Tell him that you want to hear exactly how he feels about where he was.
Vietnam vets, it is so insane how poorly they are still treated.
And then when you get done, don't thank him for service. Tell him welcome home.
And yeah, happy that he made it back. Happy he's here.
This simple welcome home is so much better than the thank you for service. Yes, if they talk about it, Lexi. If they don't want to talk about it, just end it right there and say welcome home.
Yeah. No, of course. What was here's the thing. I know a lot of people don't like Matt Best. They don't like BRCC, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I do like the title for his book, which is Thank You for My Service.
Was it thank you or was it thank me for my service?
I thought it was thank you for my service, wasn't it? Yeah, thank you for my service, Matt Best. Yep. And I like that term because I have encountered a lot of veterans, and a lot of them do not like being thanked for their service. Oh, wait, do we have Don Jr.?
Yep. Turn it up a little.
I'm waiting for the music, Dan. He's not talking yet.
Gotcha, sorry.
Good evening, America. Before I begin my remarks, I'm going to do something a little uncharacteristic. A Trump is going to give up the microphone.
Oh, damn.
Doesn't happen often. You may never see it again. But I got a call on Monday morning from a young lady who said, Dad, I want to speak at the RNC. I want to speak at the RNC because I want America to know what my grandpa is actually like.
Trump's gonna cry.
So for the first time ever on a stage, first time ever giving a speech, I want to bring out my eldest daughter and the eldest granddaughter of the President of the United States, your favorite president, Kai Madison Trump.
Granddaughter, not grandchild. Hell of dirt.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kai Madison Trump. I am the granddaughter of Donald Trump. I'm speaking today to share the side of my grandpa that people don't often see. To me, he's just a normal grandpa. He gives us candy and soda when our parents aren't looking. He always wants to know how we're doing in school. When I made the high honor roll, he printed it out to show his friends how proud he was of me. And he calls me during the middle of the school day to ask how my golf game is going and tells me all about his.
She's a golfer too.
But then I have to remind him that I'm in school and I'll have to call him back later. When we play golf together, if I'm not on his team, he'll try to get inside of my head. I know. And he's always surprised that I don't let him get to me. But I have to remind him I'm a Trump too. Even when he's going through all these court cases, he always asks me how I'm doing. He always encourages me to push myself to be the most successful person I can be. Obviously, he sets the bar pretty high, but who knows? Maybe one day I'll catch him.
Dun, dun, dun.
On Saturday, I was shocked when I heard that he has been shot, and I just wanted to know if he was okay. It was heartbreaking that someone would do that to another person. A lot of people have put my grandpa through hell, and he's still standing.
True.
He just wanted the excuse to say hell on national TV without getting slapped.
Grandpa, you are such an inspiration, and I love you. The media makes my grandpa seem like a different person, but I know him for who he is. He's very caring and loving. He truly wants the best for this country, and he will fight every single day to make America great again. Thank you very much.
Sorry, I had to deal with
He's
something.
gonna make Grandpa cry.
How old is she?
So she is 17.
So she's high school. So she's a high schooler speaking at the RNC. Hell yeah.
Heard Trump and his dad seems like
I wonder
they-
if Biden would
they
put his
still.
grandkids up there, especially like,
Well,
you know, Hunter's grandchild that he
moments
refuses
this
to
week from my family.
acknowledge.
Thank you again, guys. Really appreciate that. That's not easy. That's the first time. I mean, this is what we call a large
How
crowd for a speech,
terrifying
so
was that for
incredible
her,
work,
do you
Kai.
think? I would have, oh,
Now,
dude, I had,
back to business.
Especially, I don't think that was spur of the moment, so that was not teleprompted.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Tonight we gather here in Milwaukee at one of the most crucial moments in American history. Just days ago, something that once seemed unimaginable became a terrifying reality. My father
Yeah, the
came
Onion
under
Ninjas did
literal
get Trump
fire as an incredible patriotic rally turned into a tragedy. On a field in Butler, Pennsylvania, a brave firefighter died. Others were injured. And as those bullets rained down, we came millimeters away from one of the darkest moments in our nation's history. But we did lose an American hero that day. We wish that he were with us tonight. But his memory will live on forever in the hearts of his family, his community, and the nation that he loved.
He's
So
got
I
damn
would like
good
to
genes.
Take just a moment tonight to express our gratitude for the life and service of American hero Corey Comparator.
Fuck yes.
First one to say his name.
I'm bad with reading that name. I don't know why. It just doesn't click in my goddamn brain.
Yeah, thank you, Shell. GoFundMe links in the Discord.
Indeed. Indeed.
I think the last time I checked yesterday, there were over 5 million.
Yeah, no, it's an insane amount. As they
say
should
you
be.
can't truly know how you'll respond in a moment of danger until you're actually confronted with it.
Yep.
So what was my father's instinct as his life was on the line? Not to cower, not to surrender, but to show for all the world to see that the next American president has the heart of a lion.
And a bull moose.
That the next American president has the courage to put the American people first once again. And in that moment, my father didn't just show his character, he showed America's character.
Damn straight to that.
It's very true.
When he stood up with blood on his face and the flag at his back, the world saw a spirit that could never be broken. And that is the true spirit of America. America knows what it's like to be down. We know what it's like to be confused and to be afraid. Long before the attempt on my father's life, every American I met was filled with fear and anxiety. They were afraid our country was being torn apart. They were anxious about the massive and chaotic invasion of illegal aliens across our border. They were deeply concerned about partisan lawfare, education indoctrination, and attacks on freedom of speech. Most terrifying of all, they saw that our leaders didn't care, or worse, that they joyfully aided and abetted the erosion of our rights. And the lies. Oh yeah, the lies. We won't ever forget the lies. From left-wing politicians, from their allies in the media, when you hear them in a row, you fully understand the extent they have gone to divide this great nation. They lied about Russia collusion. They lied about Hunter's laptop. They lied about Joe Biden's fitness for office. They lied about the border being secure. They lied about inflation being transitory. They lied about how they would safely withdraw from Afghanistan. They lied about Biden being a, quote, moderate. And they told
That's very true.
one nonstop lie after another about my father. But they could only run away from reality for so long. All hell has broken loose in America, and it's impossible to hide anymore.
He's not
Remember
wrong.
Build Back Better? Instead, we got broke, bumbling Biden. Nothing is built, nothing is back, and nothing is better.
Yep.
Bridges are collapsing, our credibility is crumbling, and our money is worth less and less every single day.
No
It
lies
was
detected.
just one giant bait and switch, and normal Americans
And
are
the
the ones
Fed.
left holding the bag.
Just saying.
Housing costs, gasoline prices, grocery bills just keep going up. Wave after wave of illegal aliens, deadly drugs keep pouring across our border. Meanwhile, pro-crime district attorneys have turned our cities into giant crime zones. They've turned criminals into victims, prosecutors into criminal defense attorneys, and police into public enemies. Left-wing activists are pretending to be educators, teaching our kids that there are 57 genders, but they can't even define what a woman is.
Dankula did a video on that.
On
There
one
are
hand,
infinite
they
genders
think
by
free speech
Tumblr
protects their right
standards.
to expose your children to explicit drag shows. On the other hand,
I love
they
it when
want
I
to
was
put
a
you in
kid,
jail
a
for
drag
making a
show
meme.
meant something completely different than it does now.
It's like the entire world has been turned upside down. Does any of this sound like a country that's going in the right direction? And honestly, who is actually running the country anyway?
It's probably Jill.
It's obviously not Joe Biden.
Jill, his wife.
So who are they asking us to elect? Seriously, who's running things? Does anyone really know?
Technically, no.
Is it Jill?
Vivek does.
Is it Hunter?
Vic's not
Barack
wrong.
Obama?
Ooh,
Maybe
that
it's
cheer.
the ghost of Corn Pop.
Yes.
Whoever is running the show,
Jesus
the only
Christ.
thing they are effective at is
That's
persecuting
so
my
good.
father. They twisted, contorted, and corrupted the criminal code to turn bookkeeping errors into felonies. They concocted new legal theories out of thin air. They imposed gag orders on my father because the last thing a defendant should be able to do is defend himself, right? They punished him for merely speaking the truth. They say they hate Vladimir Putin, but it sure seems like they've spent a lot of time copying his playbook.
Oh, good point.
In this country, we don't criminalize political differences. We debate them. We vote on them. But we don't make you choose between picking a party or picking a jail cell.
I'm going to use the head before JD actually gets out here. I'll be back.
Go for it.
There was a time when the Democrats really wanted what was best for America, even if they had a different way of getting there. It was the party of Franklin Roosevelt, John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King Jr. You may have disagreed with that party, but at least you could respect it.
Okay, the delay was on their monitor,
But this
not our
new
end.
extreme Democrat party, they want us to somehow believe that the only way forward is going backwards, where hiring decisions are based solely on race, where justice is only for those with the right opinions, where streets are a luxury only for the elite, where economic opportunity exists only when you know the right people. Right now, the America we all grew up with, the America that we love.
So, well, it's not a legitimate
feels like an old
AK-50. It's
photograph,
just a designed
where you sit
AK-50.
down with your children and tell them what
Well, they
life
don't
used
use
to
any
be like.
actual names anymore, do they?
You look back at that America
I haven't
and
played
remember a
COD in a
country
long
that was
time.
confident and proud. An America that knew who it was and what it stood for. And it could all feel like a distant memory. Somewhere along the way, we stumbled. Somewhere along the way, we lost ourselves. But we can't live on nostalgia. Yes, America was great, but our greatest days are yet to come. Because no matter how far off that old photo may feel, it's not the end of our story. We're like that man who stood on that platform and felt the bullet pierce his flesh just days ago in Pennsylvania. He may have moved to the ground, but he stood back up. And when he did, my father raised his fist into the air. He looked out at the crowd. And what did he say?
This is the first time that they're really going into this.
No, genuinely.
They haven't posted it as any campaign or anything.
I think they're going to moving forward from the RNC. It's going to definitely be hammered in, and as it should be.
Yeah.
And we will fight. We will fight. We will fight with our voices. We will fight with our ideas. And on November 5th, we will fight with our vote.
Very
I've always
fair,
been
Phil.
proud of him.
It is his
but
son.
I've never been
He's gonna
prouder
talk about it.
of my father than I was in that moment. That's when the world found out that there is tough, and then there's Trump tough.
Fuck yeah.
There's Trump wine, there's Trump chocolate, there's all these different Trumps, and then there's Trump
And
tough.
the good news is, America is Trump tough.
He's a fantastic speaker. There's no denying it.
In 1912, more than a century ago, another legendary Republican president came right here to Milwaukee. At a political rally less than 1 mile from where we stand tonight, Teddy Roosevelt was struck by a would-be assassin's bullet. But he didn't quit either. He finished his speech and he kept fighting.
I hear no lies.
My friends,
yeah,
I don't believe in coincidences, but I do believe in God's plan.
Let's get some bull moose in chat, everybody.
Today, Teddy Roosevelt's man in the arena has a name, and it's Donald J. Trump. Remember, my father didn't have to run for re-election this year. He doesn't need the money, the fame, the power. Frankly, he doesn't need the witch hunts, the phony investigations, or the political prosecutions either.
Yep.
But he knew he had to run if there was any chance at saving America.
I mean, he's a billionaire. He doesn't need any of this.
He's not doing it for himself.
Right.
He's doing it for everyone here tonight, for everyone watching at home. No matter who you are, you can be a part of this movement to make America great again. Look at me and my friend JD Vance, a kid from Appalachia and a kid from Trump Tower in Manhattan. We grew up worlds apart.
It is a pretty good contrast.
Yet now,
very
we're both
big
fighting
contrast.
side by side to save the country we love.
So did Vivek, just saying.
And by the way,
No.
JD Vance is going to make one hell of a vice president. For those of you who have tuned out politics or have never even voted, I want you to know, if you're looking for a better life, a more prosperous future, a safer, more wholesome and patriotic place to call home, there's room for you in this party and in this movement.
I'm actually really happy that the conservative kind of constitutionalist is coming into the RNC again.
Yeah.
My father has always said that the people he gets along with best are the people who really work for a living.
Imagine that.
It's because of his background as a builder in construction, right? In construction, it doesn't matter how smart your architect is if you don't have the best guys laying the bricks.
True. Accurate.
People with grit. People who get their hands dirty. That's a big problem with Washington, D.C. Most of the bureaucrats who rule over us have never built anything in their lives. It's time to build something real, something tangible, something that will last and leave this country better off for our children. That's my father's mission. This November, we have a choice. It's a choice between one team that wants to build this country up and another that wants to tear this country down. It's a choice between people who are proud of America and people who are ashamed of America. And ultimately, it's a choice between America last and America first.
Have you heard a lie yet?
Nope.
So if you love this country from the bottom of your heart, if you want to bring back common sense, if you want to save the American dream, if you want to stand up and fight for the future of our nation, you must re-elect my father, Donald J. Trump.
I kind of hope he takes his patch off his ear tomorrow night before he speaks. Like, just walk out there, take it off.
We
Yeah.
will make America
Oh, I agree.
great once again. Thank you.
Great speech.
Thank you, Wisconsin.
That was a great speech.
That was a fantastic speech. I'm just mousing over just for the music because I know they have copyright music in between each speaker.
Oh, you don't want to strike tech?
No, I prefer not to.
I mean, this
I
is
would
a
prefer
brand
not
new
to.
channel.
Did you guys see the there are people that are legitimately saying that Trump fell asleep during the prayer when he had his eyes closed to pray.
Oh, dude, they went hard on that.
They did. It is insane to me. Like, here's the thing. Like, it's one like
they don't expect their audience to watch the RNC to know better.
That's true. That is 100% true. And what also it really shows is that they will lie about anything big or small to attempt to discredit pretty much everything about him.
Yep.
You know, you have those people that are saying, "Oh, well, the attempt against his life was staged for political power."
How? I mean,
what the absolute hell?
I lost his life. I mean, 2 others are injured.
Yeah, no, like it is such a also like we know that the bullet, like there's photo evidence of all of these things. There's video evidence of all of these things. There is somebody, as you said, who has lost their life. There are 2 in the hospital. It's like there is no justification. And these are the same people that demonize Alex Jones for his saying that the what was it, Sandy Hook, that he initially said a bunch of
that it's questionable, or like, you know, or that it didn't happen, or that it was a
red false flag. That's the word. Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking red flag. I'm like, no, that's not it. A false flag.
Yeah.
And it's just absolutely.
I mean, and he's apologized multiple times.
But also, he had the highest damages ever in history.
Yeah.
Levied against him. Nearly $1 billion. Man's losing his entire company.
Yeah. Any day, I think. I can't remember exactly what the last thing was. I mean, I know that he was pretty close to losing it. I don't know if there's some kind of stay on it or something.
No, I believe that the appointee, because there's a court like adjudicator that takes control of the company in the interim while he's still allowed to work. They have decided they are going to sell the company. So it's done.
That's right. Now that I do remember that. Yeah. So at any moment he could just, all right, today's the last day.
Yeah, pretty much.
Man, that really sucks. I mean,
but at the same time, you know, I think I was watching Tim Pool. Tim Pool even said that like the result of that sale is not going to even remotely put a dent in that payout.
No.
And there are a lot of people that are mad because at least as long as he was able to work, he was able to pay. You know, the restitution. And what people are saying is that them shutting it down shows that it was never about that. It was always about silencing him.
Shutting him. Yep. Absolutely.
Which I think is a fair enough point.
I think that's the correct point.
Yeah.
Also, just an update, local CBS affiliate says the 2 that were in critical condition from the rally are now stable.
No, we mentioned that on I'm glad they're still stable. But we that was Monday, that day. Yeah, the day that we did the last one.
Yeah.
They were at least stable then as well. I'm curious. I do know that one of the Dalton, you sent me this. One of the people who was injured took a shot to the liver, I believe. He was hit twice, though.
I was going to say twice, which is nuts. Like, man.
Now, but being stable, good thing about the liver is it can repair. It's a self-repairing organ, which is great. That they are stable. So, is this for JD?
Heartbreaking story.
I think they're leading right into it.
Yeah, this is his biography story that he wrote.
Got you.
Yeah, it was actually turned into a Netflix movie.
Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have
I actually
Netflix.
watched it the other day.
I refuse to have Netflix out of principle.
I have it because my cell phone carrier provides it for me.
That's fair. T-Mobile does that.
I'm not a part of my parents' household, so I don't get it anymore.
Paycheck to paycheck.
That's horrible. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's Netflix being Netflix.
Wait, you don't stream at your parents' basement? What?
No more deciding.
What? I live halfway across the country from my parents. Whoa.
As a husband and
It's almost
You're
like
not a real
we're
streamer.
adults.
importance of fighting for
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
protect their children.
You know what's funny is
Trying
every
to be an
single
adult.
leftist that I knew from like college days still lives with their parents. I find that really funny that not a single one of them has their own shit together.
Duty of commitment to what's right. It's an American story, and it's just getting started.
Oh my gosh. Vance is going to speak soon, so apparently the schedule calls
I think
for
this is now.
Ladies and gentlemen, please.
Vance's
welcome
wife first.
Usha Vance.
Oh,
Yeah, Vance's wife is going to speak first, then Vance.
fair
They
enough,
are
fair
running
enough.
behind schedule, by the way.
Yeah, they are.
By a bit.
Yeah, it's only 20 to 11 here, and you're supposed to come on at 9:30.
Yeah.
We wanted this to be a 2.5-hour podcast. It's going to be a little bit more than that.
Yeah, sorry, everybody. Hope you could stand our faces for a little bit longer.
Good evening. Good evening.
And our voices.
When I was asked to introduce my husband, JD Vance, to all of you, I was at a loss. What could I say that hasn't already been said before? After all, the man was already the subject of a Ron Howard movie. JD has shared much of his life through his own eloquent words. In his book, Hillbilly Elegy, during his Senate campaign, and now as a sitting United States Senator. It occurred to me that there was only one thing to do: to explain from the heart why I love and admire JD and stand here beside him today, and why he will make a great Vice President of the United States. I met JD in law school when he was fresh out of Ohio State, which he attended with the support of the GI Bill.
Oh,
we were friends first
I didn't know that.
because, I mean, who wouldn't want to be friends with JD? He was then, as now, the most interesting person I knew. A working class guy who had overcome childhood traumas that I could barely fathom to end up at Yale Law School. A tough Marine who had served in Iraq, but whose idea of a good time was playing with puppies and watching the movie Babe. The most determined person I knew with one overriding ambition: to become a husband and a father, and to build the kind of tight-knit family that he had longed for as a child. My background is very different from JD's. I grew up in San Diego, in a middle-class community.
It's way too many cheers for cheering for a place in California and at the RNC.
With two loving parents, both
California
immigrants from
Raptors
India,
there.
and a wonderful sister.
Fair.
That JD and I could meet at all, let alone fall in love and marry, is a testament to this great country.
Fair.
It is also a testament to JD, and it tells you something about who he is. When JD met me, he approached our differences with curiosity and enthusiasm. He wanted to know everything about me, where I came from, what my life had been like. Although he's a meat and potatoes kind of guy, he adapted to my vegetarian diet and learned to cook food from my mother, Indian food. Before I knew it,
He's a
he'd
vegetarian?
become an integral part of my family, a person I could
Goes
not imagine living without. The JD I knew then is the same JD you see today.
I'm so sad right now.
I'm not defending them. I'm not
And-
defending them. I'm just saying.
And his goals in this new role are the same that he has pursued for our family.
Just gonna walk around
To
for a
keep
minute.
people safe,
Yeah, it's a red
to
flag.
create opportunities.
I mean, it makes
to
sense.
build a
He
better
was
life,
media.
and to solve problems with an open mind. It's safe to
Heck,
say
that
that neither
personally.
JD nor I expected to find ourselves in this position. But it's hard to imagine a more powerful example of the American dream. A boy from Middletown, Ohio.
He's so mad.
Dak, I mean, I can make it even worse for you. He was a combat correspondent.
He's so mad. He does not know how to collect himself right
Raised
now.
by his grandmother through tough times. Chosen to help lead our country through some of its greatest challenges. I am grateful to all of you for the trust you have placed in him
Gary did just
and in
say
our
that
family.
she didn't say he's a vegetarian. She
And
said
with
that
that,
he adapted
it is
to
my
her
great privilege to
vegetarian
introduce
diet.
my husband and the next Vice President of the United States, JD Vance.
All right.
You have a lot to make up for, sir. God damn it with your fucking copyright music, motherfuckers.
They did say that he only adapted to her and her
No,
mother.
I heard you the first time. It did. No. You don't adapt to shit. You make them adapt to meat eating because it's the proper way. All right. That's what you
Only
fucking
way.
do. That's the American way.
It is National Hot Dog Day, by the way.
Eat a hot dog to offset JD Vance. I'm actually upset about this. I'm gonna have to yell at Vivek too. I'm gonna have to yell at Vivek too now. I have to. It's the only thing I now don't like about him.
It's literally the only red flag.
But it is a legitimate red flag for
But
me.
I will say that he's a Marine.
Right,
he
he's
learns
talking.
to improvise, adapt, and overcome. So, I mean, he's adapted to his wife. Vivek chose to be a vegetarian.
All right, turn it up.
Wow.
Can we get some hot dogs in chat or something, please? Steaks. Deer.
Ooh, venison.
Yeah. First of all, aren't I a lucky guy? Isn't she lovely and amazing? Greetings, Milwaukee, my fellow Americans and my fellow Republicans. My name is JD Vance from the great state of Ohio. Tonight, OHIO. You guys, we're gonna chill with the Ohio love. We gotta win Michigan too here. So,
okay, fair joke.
That's a fair thing. That's a hard thing for him to admit. Michigan and Ohio are enemies when it comes to collegiate level sports. So,
my friends,
I don't follow
tonight
sports.
is a night of hope.
Follow meat.
A celebration of what America once was, and with God's grace, what it will soon be again. And it is a reminder of the sacred duty we have to preserve the American experiment, to choose a new path for our children and grandchildren. But as we meet tonight, we cannot forget that this evening could have been so much different. Instead of a day of celebration, this could have been a day of heartache and mourning.
Fair.
For the last 8 years, President Trump has given everything he has to fight for the people of our country. He didn't need politics, but the country needed him. Did it? Now, prior to running for president, he was one of the most successful businessmen in the world. He had everything anyone could ever want in a life. And yet, instead of choosing the easy path, he chose to endure abuse, slander, and persecution. And he did it because he loves this country. I want all Americans to go and watch the video of a would-be assassin coming a quarter of an inch from taking his life. Consider the lies they told you about Donald Trump, and then look at that photo of him, defiant, fist in the air, when Donald Trump rose to his feet in that Pennsylvania field. All of America stood with him.
It's hard to believe it's even real.
Second time in my lifetime, Pennsylvania Field's been a major part of history.
You're not wrong. Same.
And what did he call us to do for our country? To fight for America. Even in his most perilous moment, we were on his mind. His instinct was for us, for our country, to call us to something higher, to something greater, to once again be citizens who ask what our country needs of us. Now consider what they said. They said he was a tyrant. They said he must be stopped at all costs. But how did he respond? He called for national unity, for national calm, literally right after an assassin nearly took his life.
He did.
Cooling the temperatures.
What's that?
Cooling the temperatures.
Yeah.
He remembered the victims of the terrible attack, especially the brave Corey Compertori, who gave his life to protect his family.
Which he did.
Yep.
God bless him. And then President Trump flew to Milwaukee and got back to work. Now that's the man I've gotten to know personally over the last few years. He is tough, and he is, but he cares about people. He can stand defiant against an assassin one moment and call for national healing the next. He is a beloved father and grandfather, and of course, a once-in-a-generation business leader. He's the man who is feared by America's adversaries, but 2 nights ago, and I'll share a moment, said goodnight to his 2 boys, told them he loved them, and made sure to give each of them a kiss on the cheek. And I will say, Don and Eric squirmed the same way my 4-year-old does when his daddy tries to give him a kiss on the cheek. Sorry, guys.
There's a video of that.
Yeah. No matter what.
He is all those things, but tonight we celebrate
how it
he
is.
is our once and future
They almost lost
president
Trump,
of the
and Trump
United
almost
States
lost
of America.
Yep. It looks like he's almost in tears.
Now,
some onion cutting ninjas again.
I want to respond to his call for unity myself. We have a big tent in this party on everything from national security to economic policy. But my message to you, my fellow Republicans, is we love this country and we are united to win. Right. Now, I think our disagreements actually make us stronger. That's what I've learned in my time in the United States Senate, where sometimes I persuade my colleagues and sometimes they persuade me. And my message to my fellow Americans, those watching from across the country, is shouldn't we be governed by a party that is unafraid to debate ideas and come to the best solution?
There.
That's the Republican Party of the next 4 years, united in our love for this country and committed to free speech and the open exchange of ideas.
Okay, yes.
And so tonight, Mr. Chairman, I stand here humbled, and I'm overwhelmed with gratitude to say I officially accept your nomination to be Vice President of the United States of America.
Imagine if he turned it down.
Vivek just pops out of nowhere.
Yep. It's not the sidelines like, hey, my time.
Everybody's eyes would be like
Oh,
wide.
wait,
And he'd
here
be
I
like,
am
it's
again
my
to
time.
pick it back up again.
Now, never in my wildest imagination could I have believed that I'd be standing here tonight. I grew up in Middletown, Ohio. A small town where people spoke their minds, built with their hands, and loved their God, their family, their community, and their country with their whole hearts. But it was also a place that had been cast aside and forgotten by America's ruling class in Washington. When I was in the 4th grade, a career politician by the name of Joe Biden supported NAFTA, a bad trade deal that sent countless good jobs to Mexico. When I was a sophomore in high school, that same career politician named Joe Biden gave China a sweetheart trade deal that destroyed even more good American middle-class manufacturing jobs. When I was a senior in high school, that same Joe Biden supported the disastrous invasion of Iraq, and at each step of the way, in small towns like mine in Ohio or next door in Pennsylvania or Michigan, in states all across our country, jobs were sent overseas and our children were sent to war. And
she doesn't look happy.
I agree. And somehow, a real estate developer from New York City by the name of Donald J. Trump was right on all of these issues while Biden was wrong. President Trump knew even then that we needed leaders who would put America first. Now, thanks to these policies that Biden and other out-of-touch politicians in Washington gave us, our country was flooded with cheap Chinese goods, with cheap foreign labor, and in the decades to come, deadly Chinese fentanyl. Joe Biden screwed up, and my community paid the price. Now, I was lucky. Despite the closing factories and the growing addiction in towns like mine, in my life, I had a guardian angel by my side. She was an old woman who could barely walk, but she was tough as nails.
I did hear about this.
I called her Mamaw, the name we hillbillies gave to our grandmothers.
She had 19 handguns loaded when she passed away.
I heard that.
Yeah. Base grandma.
Based.
Mamaw raised me as her own, Mamaw raised me as my mother struggled with addiction. Mamaw was in so many ways a woman of contradiction. She loved the Lord, ladies and gentlemen. She was a woman of very deep Christian faith.
Probably swore like a sailor.
But she also loved the F word.
Called it.
I'm not kidding. She could make a sailor blush. Now, she once told me, when she found out that I was spending too much time with a local kid who was known for dealing drugs, that if I ever hung out with that kid again, she would run him over with her car.
Glorious.
Can we have her as VP?
That's true. She said, JD,
you don't mess with Mimo.
About it.
Momo, Mimo, Mamo, whatever you want to call them. If they got any one of those names, you don't cross them.
Okay, I'll give him Mamaw. Let's get some Mamaw in chat, everybody. Mamaw is based.
Very much so.
Now thanks to that Mamaw.
Mamaw probably had one
after 9/11. I did what thousands of other young men my age did at that time of soaring patriotism and love of country. I enlisted in the United States Marines. Semper Fi to my fellow Marines. Now, I left the Marines after 4 years and went to the Ohio State University.
Can't all be perfect.
I'm sorry, Michigan. I had to get that in there.
Soul, one more time, and I'm changing your name.
Come on. We've had enough political violence. Let's. Now, after Ohio State, I went to Yale Law School, where I met my beautiful wife. And then I started businesses to create jobs in the kind of places that I grew up in. Now, my work taught me that there is still so much talent and grit in the American heartland. There really is. But for these places to thrive, my friends, we need a leader who fights for the people who built this country. We need a leader who's not in the pocket of big business, but answers to the working man, union and non-union alike. A leader who won't sell out to multinational corporations, but will stand up for American companies and American industry. A leader who rejects Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's Green New scam and fights to bring back our great American factories. We need President Donald J. Trump. Some people tell me I've lived the American dream, and of course they're right, and I'm so grateful for it. But the American dream that always counted most was not starting a business or becoming a senator or even being here with you fine people, though it's pretty awesome. My most important American dream was becoming a good husband and a good dad, of being able to give. I wanted to give my kids the things that I didn't have when I was growing up, and that's the accomplishment that I'm proudest of. That tonight, I'm joined by my beautiful wife, Usha, an incredible lawyer and a better mom, and our three beautiful kids, Ewan, who's 7, Vivek, who's 4, and Mirabelle, who's 2. Now, they're back at the hotel, and kids, if you're watching, Daddy loves you very much, but get your butts in bed. It's 10 o'clock. But my friends, things did not work out well for a lot of kids I grew up with. Every now and then, I will get a call from a relative back home who asks, "Did you know so-and-so?" And I'll remember a face from years ago, and then I'll hear they died of an overdose. As always, America's ruling class wrote the checks. Communities like mine paid the price. For decades, that divide between the few with their power and comfort in Washington and the rest of us only widened. From Iraq to Afghanistan, from the financial crisis to the Great Recession, from open borders to stagnating wages, the people who govern this country have failed and failed again. That is, of course, until a guy named Donald J. Trump came along. President Trump represents America's last best hope to restore what, if lost, may never be found again. A country where a working class boy born far from the halls of power can stand on this stage as the next vice president of the United States of America. But my fellow Americans here in this stage and watching at home, this moment is not about me. It's about all of us, and it's about who we're fighting for. It's about the auto worker in Michigan wondering why out-of-touch politicians are destroying their jobs. It's about the factory worker in Wisconsin who makes things with their hands and is proud of American craftsmanship. It's about the energy worker in Pennsylvania and Ohio who doesn't understand why Joe Biden is willing to buy energy from tin pot dictators across the world when he could buy it from his own citizens right here in our own country.
You agree with this?
Yep. Worst thing he did right off the bat was stop the Keystone Pipeline.
It was like one of the first executive orders he signed on day one.
Yeah, it was the day one executive order.
1 out of 17, I believe.
You guys are a great crowd. Wow. And
When was the last time we had a president or vice president that had a beard? Been a while.
Oh, it has been a while.
What was your question? I'm sorry.
Last time we had a
when was the last
president or a
time-
VP that had a beard.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Been a while.
I want Trump to grow a beard, personally.
And it's about
I
movement.
I
is
read a
about
thing that
single
he didn't
moms
like
mine,
facial hair.
who struggled with money and addiction, but never gave up. And I'm proud to say that tonight my
I
mom
do
is
agree,
here.
though.
10 years, clean and sober. I love you, Mom.
All right, good for her. Hell yeah,
what a
props.
Quite the turnaround, Mama Bear.
Yep.
10 years sober. Cheers. And then
Yeah,
everybody
no,
takes a drink.
fucking, yeah. Cheers with my substance.
I'm all gone. I'll do water.
I will give her the AA cheer.
Yep, as will I, a Dr. Pepper.
Water.
No, water. Yeah.
Right there with you, Graham.
Dr. Pepper.
Hey, water was a harder shot for me than the alcohol or the caffeine. You know that.
$732 days without soda.
Benjamin Harrison was the last president, vice president who had a beard. There we go. Thank you. Thank you.
Why does it sound like they're chanting "Take it off"?
Nope, JD's mom.
JD's
Don't confuse
mom
that. Don't
has
confuse
got
that.
It'll be 10 years officially in January of 2025. And if President Trump's okay with it, let's have the celebration in the White House.
He said yes.
Yeah.
Well,
And our
so
movement,
the
ladies and
question
gentlemen,
is to find
it's
out
about
who
grandparents
Benjamin
all across
Harrison
this
was the
country
vice president
who
of.
are living on Social Security and raising grandchildren they didn't expect to raise. And while we're on the topic of grandparents, let me tell you another Mamaw story. Now, my Mamaw died shortly before I left for Iraq in 2005. And when we went through her things, we found 19 loaded handguns. They were...
As I said, base grandma.
Dak, can you turn it down just like halfway real quick? So breaking news from Jack Posobiec 3 minutes ago. Massive drama right now in the White House. Kamala advisors are straight up telling Biden advisors it's time to pass the buck. Exact words used per White House official. This is the first direct open confrontation at the senior level. So tonight, and in the White House, Kamala's team is telling Biden's team to stand down.
Shit.
It's going to get crazy, guys. Welcome to Insanity Developing Podcast.
The insanity is literally developing in the White House right now.
Yeah, no, literally.
Real time.
I
Yep,
mean, insanity, dementia, same shit.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and pause. I got to go get the tea.
What
you
tea?
want to pause it?
No.
This is a podcast.
Yeah, we're not pausing the podcast.
I know.
Mamaw couldn't get around so well. And so
You
this
can listen
frail
to it
old
later
woman made sure
on
that
all
no matter where
platforms.
she was within arm's length of whatever she needed to protect her family. That's who we fight for. That's American spirit.
There's been like 4 or 5 chants of USA just from this one speech alone. You can almost make a drinking game out of it.
Yeah.
Joe Biden has been a politician in Washington for longer
Try that
than
during the
I've been alive.
DNC.
39 years
Get
old.
maybe one shot.
Kamala
If
Harris is not much
Yeah.
further behind. For half a century, he's been the champion of every major policy initiative to make America weaker and poorer.
Yes.
And in 4 short years, Donald Trump reversed decades of betrayals inflicted by Joe Biden and the rest of the corrupt Washington insiders. He created the greatest economy in history for workers. Really was amazing. There's this chart that shows worker wages, and they stagnated for pretty much my entire life until President Donald J. Trump came along. Workers' wages went through the roof.
Mm-hmm. He also pushed
and
for
just imagine what he's going to do when we give him 4 more years.
I always leave room for somebody to change their mind on somebody. But I want to see action as well.
Yeah, in my tweet, I said that Trump made a miscalculation not picking Vivek, but that I was open to being wrong, and that I was hoping that, I was
You're proven wrong.
Months ago, I heard some young family member observe that their parents' generation, the baby boomers, could afford to buy a home when they first entered the workforce. But I don't know, this person observed, if I'll ever be able to afford a home. The absurd cost of housing is the result of so many failures, and it reveals so much about what's broken in Washington. I can tell you exactly how it happened. Wall Street barons crashed the economy, and American builders went out of business.
Yes.
As tradesmen scrambled for jobs, houses stopped being built.
Jesus Christ.
The lack of good jobs, of course, led to stagnant wages. And then the Democrats flooded this country with millions of illegal aliens. So citizens had to compete with people who shouldn't even be here for precious housing. Joe Biden's inflation crisis, my friends, is really an affordability crisis. And many of the people that I grew up with can't afford to pay more for groceries, more for gas, more for rent, and that's exactly what Joe Biden's economy has given them.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're saying take it back.
So prices soared, dreams were shattered, and China and the cartels sent fentanyl across the border, adding addiction to the heartache. But ladies and gentlemen, that is not the end of our story. We've heard about villains and their victims. I've talked a lot about that, but let me tell you about the future. President Trump's vision is so simple and yet so powerful. We're done, ladies and gentlemen, catering to Wall Street. We'll commit to the working man.
Riddle, I will also say that being willing to admit you're wrong.
Done importing foreign labor. We're going to fight for American citizens and their good jobs and their good wages.
Yeah.
We're done buying energy from countries that hate us. We're going to get it right here from American workers in Pennsylvania and Ohio and across the country. We're done sacrificing supply chains to unlimited global trade, and we're going to stamp more and more products with that beautiful label, made in the USA.
Yeah, one of the best things he did was start making cuts in that too, and incentivizing people to bring back business to the U.S.
Put people to work making real products for American families made with the hands of American workers. Together, we will protect the wages of American workers and stop the Chinese Communist Party from building their middle class on the backs of American citizens.
Should be banned from purchasing land in the U.S. altogether.
They want an
land,
embassy, build an
everything.
embassy. Your corporate embassies
Together,
need to go.
we will make sure our allies share in the burden of securing world peace. No more free rides for nations that betray the generosity of the American taxpayer.
Just make them pay their own bills. Period. Dissolve it.
Together, we will send our kids to war only when we must. But as President Trump showed with the elimination of ISIS and so much more, when we punch, we're going to punch hard. Together, we will put the citizens of America first, whatever the color of their skin. We will, in short, make America great again.
Okay.
You know, one of the things that you hear people say sometimes is that America
Yes,
is
Brittle,
an
I do.
idea. And to be clear, America was indeed founded on brilliant ideas like the rule of law and religious liberty, things written into the fabric of our Constitution and our nation. But America is not just an idea. It is a group of people with a shared history and a common future. It is, in short, a nation. Now, it is part of that tradition, of course, that we welcome newcomers. But when we allow newcomers into our American family, we allow them on our terms.
Thank you, Shell.
That's the way we preserve the continuity of this project from 250 years past to hopefully 250 years in the future. And let me illustrate this with a story, if I may. I'm, of course, married to the daughter of South Asian immigrants to this country. Incredible people, people who genuinely have enriched this country in so many ways. And of course, I'm biased because I love my wife and her family, but it's true. Now, when I proposed to my wife, we were in law school, and I said, honey, I come with $120,000 worth of law school debt and a cemetery plot on a mountainside in eastern Kentucky.
Fair.
Absolutely fair.
Minus the debt.
I guess standing here tonight, it's just gotten weirder and weirder, honey. But that's what she was getting. Now, that cemetery plot in eastern Kentucky is near my family's ancestral home. And like a lot of people, we came from the mountains of Appalachia into the factories of Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin.
Okay. So you're a Dutch-Irish immigrant descendant.
Now, that's Kentucky coal country, one of the 10...
I have a very interesting relationship with Kentucky.
It's one of the 10 poorest counties in the entire United States of America. They are very hardworking people, and they're very good people. They're the
only
kind of
person I know
people
is
who
Shell.
would give you the shirt off their back, even if they can't afford enough to
Jen.
eat. And our media calls them
Wow.
privileged and
No.
looks down on them. But
Oh,
they
good
love
Lord.
this country, not only because it's a good idea, but because in their bones they know that this
Thanks for
is
this,
their
Riddle.
home, and it will be their children's home, and they would die fighting to protect it.
I hope I didn't just box Shell. Sorry.
A little bit. Little bit. Little bit.
It's okay, Slugger.
Oh. Private chat.
That is
Oh,
the
she doesn't
source
care.
of America's greatness. As a United States Senator, I get to represent millions
He's
of
like,
people in the
uh-oh.
great state of Ohio with similar stories, and it is the great honor
Because
of my life.
Pennsylvania.
Now, in that cemetery, there are people who were born around the time of the Civil War. And if, as I hope, my wife and I are eventually laid to rest there, and our kids follow us, there will be 7 generations just in that small mountain cemetery plot in eastern Kentucky. 7 generations of people who have fought for this country,
All right,
who have
so
built this country, who have
Picture
made
this.
things in this country,
He becomes president
and who would
one day.
fight and die to protect this country.
Yes.
They may get he may have a chance to be buried in Arlington if I understand correctly. So
Now that
I
he's
mean-
VP, he has been added to that list.
Oh, yep. All right. So VP even. So I mean, like,
does he have a choice in that? Like, still, right? Yeah.
Everybody has a choice. You can't, unless you're an unknown retrieval, and then you get credit in the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. But Medal of Honor recipients and Purple Heart recipients have the option to be buried there. Or most Medal of Honor are posthumous, so they're awarded after the fact. But yeah, you have a chance, a choice
if they were asked to.
Okay, cool.
Good to know. Want to be buried on my land or burned.
Now, that's not just an idea, my friends. That's not just a set of principles.
Like
even though the ideas and the principles are great,
the ashes
are buried. That is a homeland. That is our homeland. People will not fight for abstractions, but they will fight for their home. And if this movement of ours is going to succeed, and if this country is going to thrive, our leaders have to remember that America is a nation and its citizens deserve leaders who put its interests first.
Agreed.
Now, we won't agree on every issue, of course, not even in this room. We may disagree from time to time about how best to reinvigorate American industry and renew American family. That's fine. In fact, it's more than fine. It's good. But never forget that the reason why this united Republican Party exists, why we do this, why we care about those great ideas and that great history, is that we want this nation to thrive for centuries to come.
This is also fair. We need to return to the nuclear family the way that it was intended.
Now, eventually in that mountain cemetery, my children will lay me to rest. And when they do, I would like them to know that thanks to the work of this Republican Party, the United States of America is as strong and as proud and as great as ever.
So essentially, you just want to make sure you did something before you died.
Yeah.
That is who we serve, my friends. That is who we fight for. And the only thing that we need to do right now, the most important thing that we can do for those people, for that American nation that we all love, is to re-elect Donald J. Trump, President of the United States.
I mean, amen to that. Trump is speaking tomorrow.
Yeah. Yep.
Mr. President, I will never take for granted the trust you have put in me. And what an honor it is to help achieve the extraordinary vision that you have for this country. Now, I pledge to every American, no matter your party, I will give you everything I have to serve you and to make this country a place where every dream you have for yourself, your family, and your country will be possible once again. And I promise you one more thing. To the people of Middletown, Ohio, and all the forgotten communities in Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Ohio, and every corner of our nation, I promise you this: I will be a vice president who never forgets where he came from.
I hate to say it, but I actually believe him when he says that.
I kind of do as well.
He's had the life struggles beforehand. He knows what he had to lose and all he's gained. So
I can understand and appreciate why Trump picked JD Vance.
I can. He's hometown.
Yeah.
Very truly grassroots.
Yeah.
And every single day for the next 4 years, when I walk into that White House to help President Trump, I will be doing it for you, for your family, for your future, and for this great country. Thank you. God bless all of you, and God bless our great country.
I mean, here's the thing. Solid. I'm going to say solid speech. He definitely, Vivek has more energy.
Yeah.
He has more passion behind him, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, with both of them, I think you get sincerity.
Oh yeah.
Now,
I mean, look at that. He's hugging his mother, and
yeah,
it's just all of his relatives there. I mean,
yeah, I do feel that he's sincere about. First off, I do know that he is somewhat America first, just like Trump, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I still have my reservations.
Excuse me. Yeah, concerns, reservations, exactly.
But time will tell on those. Sincerity is a very good starting point, though, because at least I didn't leave this not trusting him.
Yeah, this, I feel like this is Trump and Vance is much more stronger than Trump and Pence.
Yes. Oh my. Oh. By a long
By
shot.
a long shot.
Pence was awful.
He was boring.
He was boring when Romney was running. You had Ryan, who was the least sincere human being on the planet and looked like a vampire.
Right. The way I look at Pence is he was the bridge between the party that we have now.
Yeah, that's fair. He's the neocon party versus the new conservative movement.
Trump needed, when he first got elected, he needed somebody who was kind of part of that, kind of in that. But now that he has really a third shot, but really a second shot.
Yeah.
At this, a real, I don't know, it looks like the wind is blowing much stronger in his direction now than even 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
Much
definitely is. There is
so,
a revival of traditionalism that's coming back. The pendulum is coming.
But not only that, the energy was not in the air like this 4 years ago. It was there, but it was nowhere near this level.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude dodged a bullet barely.
I was going to say, but how much of that is because of the events on Saturday? Would we have seen this level of turnout if Saturday didn't happen?
I think the country did change on Saturday.
I think the country changed on Saturday.
It could have changed a lot worse, but it changed in as little or as big as a way that it did change. I believe that it has changed.
Is this just him calling for recess, by the way?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
Does he have his gavel?
No.
I think so. Pretty sure he's got his gavel.
He might have his gavel.
We had a chance to see what strength.
I didn't see the gavel.
Yeah, I think he's about to call recess. Yeah, he's about to call recess. So I mean, I do think that this is a stronger ticket than Trump and Pence. So I think that that's a huge plus. I think that this is going to be a version of the Republican Party that is for the better. And I pray that Trump doesn't hire or appoint terrible people again. I think that's our biggest concern. I mean, I feel like I'm a little, I share your concern and your skepticism of JD Vance as VP. I think that Vivek would have been a much stronger, but also the correct choice in really showing and proving that is not what's on Trump's mind anymore, is appointing all these bad hires and everything. I think that would have sent a very strong message. I think it would have sent a stronger message.
I agree with that.
Not to mention, I think with Trump having been in one term already before and having a term off to think and pick and watch people over that time period, he was able to accumulate a strong group of picks. I'm sure he already knows who he wants where. And
I'm sure he has a great idea. Yeah. Now,
and backup plans for everybody in those positions.
Another thing that this has allowed us, another thing that Trump losing, I think that allowed the country to do what in the tech, world we call an A/B test. We get to take a step back and we get to see, okay, we had 4 years of this, we had 4 years of Trump, we had 4 years of Biden. And let's compare that back to back, because we do not as a country get that very often, if ever. Just 4 years of two presidents back to back. And then we have it's only happened one time in history that we've had a president serve again non-consecutively. So I think that this is a very important moment. And I think Vivek said it perfectly. Saturday could have been a lot worse, but it wasn't. It could have been, it could have been Abraham Lincoln, but it wasn't. And so we are now given a choice to actually seize this moment and actually make this country into something that we almost lost on Saturday.
Yeah,
we almost lost Abraham Lincoln.
The non-consecutive two-term president?
Yeah, it's Grover Cleveland, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. And so, Trump has been a man who's created so much history over the last 8 years.
Oh,
he's been
dear
the
Lord,
first
yes.
president to be impeached twice, I believe. He's been the first president to just so many things, man. Like, I'm struggling to think of things right now because I'm tired. This is 3.5 hours long, and we planned on 2.5 hours. So,
yeah.
My point is,
I blame JD Vance for that.
Right. I blame everyone before JD Vance.
Actually, I blame everybody.
An hour and a half late. So
yeah,
I blame everybody. That is also true.
Yep, exactly. Thank you. Trump has been the very first president to be a convicted felon.
Whether just or unjust.
Right. To be charged civilly and then now criminally. So lots of firsts as a president. And so he's going to go down in history. Whoever writes the history book, he's going to go down in history as a very, I don't know if monumental is the right word, but I would dare to say it.
Notable, monumental
for sure.
Yeah.
Notable for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, when you 100 years from now, when they look back and they see Joe Biden's presidency and they see Trump's presidency, Trump is going to stand out much more.
Oh, and when he gets elected for a second term, he's already going to be ingrained in history as the second president in all of history to have a non-consecutive. So he's already got that.
Now, my thing is you said that he's going to be remembered more than Biden. That I take one disagreement with that, and there's a reason.
Okay.
People remember the Jimmy Carter years as an abhorrent piece of history.
Yeah.
Biden will be remembered the same way. It's just he's not going to be remembered in a good light, but he will be remembered.
He'll be remembered in history as part of the Trump history era from the first term, midterm, and second term.
Yes. That's the only relevancy. Now, I think people are starting to remember Jimmy Carter has probably better than Biden.
Oh, yes. I think that he is officially polling below Jimmy Carter as of a couple months ago.
And I'll say this, and this is a big statement. I think I trust Nixon more than I trust Biden.
Nixon, his electoral college was red. It was wild. And then Ford was the very first vice president that this country had that was not elected to any office, not the vice presidency and not the presidency. And that, you could argue that raises some red flags, but my point, I guess, going back to everything is, Donald Trump has been, what a life, just what a life. I'm staring at a tweet that he sent out on October 1st, 2014.
I saw you retweet it.
Yeah. This man has a tweet for everything. It literally says, quote, "This woman who is the Secret Service director looks like she is way over her head. Why can't the president appoint the best and the brightest?" That was 2014, guys.
Yeah.
This is 2024. This is 10 years later. And that tweet is more relevant now than it was back then.
It's relevant to him.
It's especially irrelevant to him.
Yeah.
Nighthawk, I do have to address your comment real quick. When you elect somebody in any position in government, whether you want to admit that you trust a politician or not, by electing them and by voting for them, you are expending at least the smallest amount of trust in an individual to do something, at least accomplish a task or speak the truth or whatever you want to call it. But there is a trust associated with electing somebody. So to answer your question, yes, you have to trust a politician to some
I
extent.
can agree with I can agree with trusting the smallest amount of trust.
Small percent.
What I would
minimal.
I would actually use the word
you're-
hope versus trust.
That's probably a fairer word, I think.
Yeah.
Because you are hoping your representative represents you the way you want to be represented. You are hoping that. You can put your trust in it, but at the end of the day, you are hoping. You are leaning on hope way more than you are leaning on
The way
trust.
I see it is you hope when you are electing them that they will do that thing. You
are
trust
hoping
them.
that they will keep your trust in their ability to
not keep your
accomplish
trust, earn your trust.
Yes.
By doing the thing that you hoped they would do. That's how I would phrase it.
The
They
trust
have to
aspect
earn the
has to
trust.
be there, though, because you have to be able, if you don't trust them to do the task after they're elected, then you have to remove them, right? So if they haven't earned your trust or whatever the case,
of course,
then that they have not earned or kept your trust, so they're gone. If you've trusted them outright, then they lost it, take them out.
Yes, but it starts with hope, not trust. It starts with hope.
I do think. I mean, trust is earned, but for a politician to earn your trust, I mean, do I trust Donald Trump? That's an iffy question. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Do I hope Trump is going to do the best that he can to deliver what he promises? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, his first term, I think he did a good job. I think he did a great job on a lot of things, policy-wise.
Policy-wise, yes.
For sure. I mean, I would go out to say that he's the best president in my lifetime.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I'm almost 30, so yeah. Now, I don't know. Like, I feel like I have, like you said, hope. I have a lot of hope for his second presidency. I have more hope for his second presidency than I did for his first.
Same.
And ending on his first was I feel like we ended that on nearly a high level. His second presidency, I hope we land and end on it at an even higher level. I think that's the best that we can hope for. And man, yeah. I mean, I really think Saturday changed the world. I really do.
I can 100% agree with
it.
Saturday.
It opened a lot of eyes. And
it also not just opened a lot of eyes to, here's the thing, a lot of people are saying it opened their eyes to Trump as a whole, but I actually think that equally in opposition, it opened the eyes to people to see, holy shit, there are people calling for abhorrent things and saying, and I think that what it did is it lifted the veil that a lot of people refused to believe that these people were saying the things or believe the things that they were saying.
Yeah.
And they just never paid it any mind. And now they are seeing people say abhorrent things about innocent people and they're exposing themselves. And that veil has been lifted. Saturday lifted the veil on the left. And I think also on the right. I think a lot of people started looking at Trump and questioning, why did I hate this man?
Yep.
A little bit of that, and there was a little bit of I won't say it changed hearts and minds, because it didn't. What people believed. Okay, you might have had a few people change their perspective or whatever, but like you said, it lifted the veil. It made it blatantly obvious the people that were capable of rational thought, emotional thought, even feeling something or expressing something,
empathy,
versus the people that were against him because they were told to be, or because they're just that sadistic. I'm not saying that everybody who's against him still is evil or sadistic, but what I am saying is that the people that would call for continuation, the people, sorry he missed. The guy in the stands that lost his life is a loser. It's a fake, it's a sham. Those people are expressly in that position because they refuse to accept anything but their narrative as truth. Because if they do, I truly believe that if they were to open their eyes, their entire view of the entire world would be shattered to a point that would blow their brains' understanding of the entire world to a point where they would not be able to comprehend anything ever again.
They would have a mental breakdown and they would seep into a depression that would be unlike any other.
Exactly. So they're holding on to, some people are just that evil. Okay, I'll give you that. Some of those people are.
Oh, evil exists.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the ones that are just holding on to it and refuse to change and don't know anything about it, like they don't know the details of it, they're just respitting the rhetoric. It's because they don't want anything else to be true. Because if it is, then they have to acknowledge that they've been lied to their entire lives, that they've been fooled, they've been duped. And that would break their concentration and understanding of the world. And they're not ready for that.
Yeah, I believe that evil exists in this world so that good men can rise to the occasion.
Yes, exactly.
And I think that right now we don't have a stronger moment right now than we do right now to see that we have a weak leader, and we have potentially one of the strongest leaders we've had in modern American history, just from Saturday's events alone. And I'm not saying that Saturday's events alone is grounds for you to vote for him, but I am saying that it is. I mean, when was the last time you saw a president that strong? Not in my lifetime.
I haven't. I mean, what, Reagan was right before I was.
Probably Reagan.
Yeah.
I mean, dude got shot, and then Bloom popped at a,
at some RNC. Wasn't it the RNC speech?
I can't remember.
It was the RNC.
It was the RNC speech.
Mid-speech. Missed me.
Yeah,
And then continued on.
And it was
without
just
even
a blip.
flinching.
Yeah.
Without even flinching. I mean, say what you want about Reagan, but that was a based moment.
Here's the thing. We've had this discussion. If anybody wants to know my thoughts about Reagan, I'd be happy to discuss them at length when we have another show with maybe a little less chaos in the world to discuss. We can discuss these things.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Reagan. I think a lot of people here know that. I have my reasons, but I will acknowledge that as, that was awesome.
Look, there's a lot of presidents throughout our history who probably are terrible on policy, from our positions or our viewpoint or our perspective, but are pretty base presidents. As how they carry themselves, how they conduct themselves.
Yes.
But I mean, it's just like
Late second term Reagan was pretty sad. Yes.
Yeah, we have a really strong chance right now. And it's one that I don't know that we're going to see either for a long time or ever in our lives again to see a president that strong.
Well, it's like that expression that we battled who said it, who quoted it originally, and somebody started the thing in the comments too. It's that the strong men make good times make weak men make hard times, and hard times make strong men.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep. And I think that we are at that turning point right now.
We are.
Where
we're seeing the strong men
the strong men make the good times again. This is that strong men period.
I feel like we've been living in the weak times, or the weak men create hard times. And then now we're in the hard times right now. And the hard times are exposing the good men.
Yep. And the good men must now rebuild the strong men must rebuild the good times.
Yep. That's
what
we're
starting
seeing.
to see the strong men present themselves in our leaders and in our general public. If you look at the even local political level, there's some places, not even political, local level in your hometowns. Start paying attention to the people around you that are starting to voice up, starting to say things, and not just say them, but actually follow up on them.
Brandon Herrera.
Saying. Brandon Herrera is one of them. Yeah. Dude literally took on a sitting senator and almost beat him.
Congressman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I literally like 407 votes.
But we are forgetting the most famous part of that quote. Okay. It is that hard men make women come.
All right, I think I
think it's time.
We are at that point in the podcast where the insanity has officially developed. And
maybe a little bit.
Yep. And so the first episode, if you guys missed it, we thought about the idea of having like a little progress bar that is on the screen for how we progress.
It's going to occur. Yeah.
It's like when we know that it's probably time to wrap up the podcast is when the insanity is at its peak. And so I guess on that note, And with all that said, I think this is probably a good spot. It's 3 hours and 43 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
We announced the after show called Insanity Unhinged.
Oh my God. Well, that's just Discord chat anyway. But I do think I agree, Dalton. It is time for us to round up the night, everybody.
Right.
Any final
Before we
thoughts
go-
real quick for closing?
Yep, I do. Before we go, I do want to ask everybody here. We just created this podcast. We just launched the first episode literally yesterday. Well, we recorded it Monday, but then I launched it yesterday. And so what I would love for everyone to do is, if you guys listen to podcasts, which I'm sure most of you guys probably do, I choose Apple Podcasts. That's my platform. But if you have Spotify or any other podcast, please subscribe to us. Yep. Subscribe to us on your podcast app. Even if you don't listen to it on there and you watch here, it helps a lot. And then another thing that you guys can do is rate and comment on the podcast of your choice.
And share
on every episode. Even if you call us all retards and leave 5 stars, that will make us the happiest people in the world, and it would help us out so much.
Yes. Meme in the comments, whatever. But just let us know what you're thinking, and that would be greatly appreciated.
It will help. It will help this channel, and it will help our podcast grow and grow and grow. And we would love to see how far it goes.
Yes,
I think it would be really cool.
I'll leave it to your special guest to say this part. Dalton, where can they find you?
They can find me on X at at Dalton Sutton IO, and you can find my website daltonsutton.com.
Yes.
Tack, what about you?
Tack, where can they find you?
Oh, well, you can find me on YouTube at youtube.com / at the tactical turtleneck, as well as right here, you see it on X. Tweet me memes about drugs and ass. And then, Grim, where can they find you?
So you guys can find me on YouTube at GrimActual_GTS. You can also find me on TikTok at GrimActual_GTS. And you can find me at the Everyday Guardian Show, also on that same YouTube channel, and as a guest star as Dr. Leonard Martinez on Tactical Turtlenecks Cryptic Creators.
Yeah. He's a feminist on there.
Hey, everybody's got to act some stupid sometimes, right?
That's true.
Yeah. And so, in closing, you guys can follow the podcast as a website and have all the links there at Insanity Podcast or insanitydeveloping.com. There we go. I'm tired. It's probably a great time to wrap up. And thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow. Okay. We'll be back tomorrow.
We're going over Trump's speech.
We will. I think we should probably, instead of 7 my time and 8 your time, let's do an hour later. Or at least 30 minutes later.
On time.
Yeah. Well, I think also we'll double check the schedule because we're going to anticipate it being late. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I just don't want to repeat another 4-hour podcast for all you guys.
I mean, I don't mind, but I have cocaine for blood. So I think we've realized that.
I appreciate
we love you.
Yep.
And we will see you all next time. Have a good one. Everybody have a good night. Make sure that you dream of Don Jr. Have a good one. We love you. Peace.
Peace, guys.